You're live. What is just this thing here?
Taking that off?
They better come down. I can't stand it. They do that. I'm going to complain about that.
It might I think you can just click on this and bring this from there.
No, see, it's already clicked to be up here.
Do we have to go in there?
Set. Where's that thing at? Brand. Oh gosh. One person watching and we're not
That's
on.
it right there.
Where is it? In screen?
Yeah.
I hope that's it.
Maybe.
Yes. All right. Hey. Welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers whip ass.
And you will too if you pass.
Yeah, we had to more technical stuff we got to figure out. All right. Hope y'all weren't hearing us complaining.
We was not talking shit about Kalonji no matter what you played.
So in the news, I want to start. I got some very interesting news dealing with warfare. Chimps and gorillas have been seen going to war in the wild. First time started back in 2019.
Wow.
They're still warring. That hasn't happened in the history of gorillas and chimps that people know. That's these folks, capitalism and everything is throwing the ecology out of whack.
Mm-hmm. Ecosystem.
So gorillas and chimps now are going to war, but it's really it's the chimps that's doing it.
Territory.
The chimps are ambushing the gorillas. They killing their babies, eating their babies. So like this one encounter, they know that the chimps separated the baby gorilla. The gorillas start whooping ass. Chimps, a couple of chimps got killed in that. Gorillas got hurt. The baby got killed. The second one, they snatched the baby up, ate the baby, whooped some gorilla ass. The chimps are beating the gorillas because they outnumber the gorillas and they ambushing them.
And they're more aggressive. Naturally,
yes,
chimps they're probably more agile too, right?
No, they're about equally agile. Of course, a gorilla is stronger, but the chimp, and that's a thing to know for war. The chimp is using strategy. It's ambushing.
Yeah, that's
striking and fading.
That's the whole thing about it. They're using strategy.
Right, striking and fading.
They're planning.
That's going to beat all this. So small numbers of people can beat large numbers as long as you have the strategy, or you use shock and awe, right? And the chimps are using a combination of both. So
that's ill.
When the Special Forces A-Team.
Peace, Big Till.
Peace. A Special Forces A-Team that goes out and made up of 6 sergeants, okay? And that Special Forces A-Team can take down a whole community that's trying to fight them because they're going to use strategy. So you can take down your enemy. St. Petersburg, Florida. Neighborhood took out the police, including a police helicopter. This is just folks in the neighborhood. But in that neighborhood, from what I understand, they had a couple of brothers that were former SF, and they were teaching people strategic movements and tactics. Okay. Tactics is just strategy in motion. And they took out a police helicopter and some of the police. So the chimps are on that move, using that strategy to beat the gorillas. But that's one crazy form of study for that. But the other thing is letting you know how much damage these people are doing to the ecosystem to even cause that.
Big Till asked something related to that. I wonder to what extent these fights
might be connected to land encroachment.
encroachment. Yeah.
Yes. So
The ecosystem.
the first fights, the first two fights, they were at the Luango National Park in Gabon. And so I'm sure that's from land encroachment. Because a national park means somebody's taking control of the national land.
Certain amount of land.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, fights over resources.
Yep, that's what it comes down to.
Gorillas are vegetarians, vegans actually.
That's what
but
I was about to mention.
Chimps are mainly vegan, but they will eat meat from time to time.
And what's happening is chimps are eating more meat than ever right now, which has been proven is going to the aggression is going to go up.
Right.
You see that in prison systems where they've replaced the meals with vegan, and the violent crimes go down 90%. So yeah,
in a certain organization, certain Black organization, the leaders would have the captains eat meat because so they would be more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Before war, stuff like that.
I'm talking a Black organization.
Oh, okay.
A great Black organization in the United States would have their people eat meat so they could lead their men and women more aggressive.
As long as it wasn't pork, I ain't mad at them.
Yeah. No, these folks weren't gonna eat pork.
No, they eating pork chops.
These folks weren't gonna eat
ham sandwich.
That's all I can say. Y'all can extrapolate from there. But
real quick too, we want to.
Somebody said, okay, Kalani said our camera is super foggy. Please forgive us. It's the system.
We will have this straight shortly. I know we keep saying that, but we really will have. We've been trying to troubleshoot it, and we realized we got to go with an Ethernet cable. So we're going to get that put in, installed in the week to come. So we should be coming in crystal clear next week. So we do apologize for. I'm looking at us on the screen. I see how fuzzy we look.
Greetings.
It should come up in a second. Also,
we see you. Welcome.
Hey, Easy D. All right, peace.
So yeah.
And we've been seeing other animals that's usually meat, that's usually not meat eaters eating meat too. I forgot which. It's another animal that's starting to eat meat now and becoming more aggressive. I can't remember what it is, but I just seen an article about that too.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. As much as it's, you all can see. Hopefully, it's good enough for you to be able to see what we're doing. So that's my news.
Oh, anyway. Yeah. Before we get into it, I'm gonna give you my news, and this is a personal experience I went through. So I want to share this with you, family. And the reason I want to share it with you is because it's a reminder for self-awareness, to be aware, to be prepared. Like Bible says, stay chiseled while you're out there, and to recognize that the climate has changed. I mean, maybe it hasn't changed. Maybe it's always been this way. But I think from what I'm seeing, the climate has changed from the places that I've been and frequent. So what I'm talking about, basically, I had this experience. I went home to Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where I'm from. A lot of y'all might not know that, but I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. So I went home to visit my mom, my parents, or whatever. Peace, Kalani. So when I did, we look like we're clearing up a little bit. So when I did,
no, I'm looking at it.
At first, I was getting followed by these. Real quick, I was just real short, but on the way into the city, I had passed by these like Hell's Angel type bikers, like 15 in a with the Harleys, with the cutout jean jackets, with the sleeves cut out, with the fist on the back, with the flag on the fist. We raise hell, some type of whatever they got, slogans or whatever. So it took me a while, I'm on cruise control. So after about 15 minutes or so, I finally passed them. I guess they on cruise control too, because I'm passing real slow. It took a while. Once I passed them, after a while, they passed me. Now they have been going slower than me this whole time. I've been watching them from afar. Like it took about 15 minutes for me to actually get up to them, because we're on the straightaway. You can see the cars from a long distance. So I seen them from a long way. So by the time I passed them, 5 minutes later, they come up around me and surround me and start doing all these little formations. You know, they would slow down and somebody would speed up real fast beside me. They would never look at me or anything, but they would just do all these little formations and surrounding me and stuff. So I never looked at them or nothing. I just kept driving, thinking to myself, if she get, you know, excuse me, we ain't got no time in for me over this cursing. If things get rough, all I got is this car as a tool and whatever tools I have in the car, you know, but I'm outnumbered. It's 15 to 16 bikers. So that was wild. That was my first introduction to Wilmington that Friday. So I see that happened and that's over with. So I'm like, man, that's wild. That never happened before. This is my hometown. I'm 47 years old. I didn't see, you know, never had a white dude call me the N-word in the 11th grade. Knocked him out. And that's the only time anybody ever said, never been approached. And that was during wrestling practice when I had him in something, he was stressed. You know what I'm saying? I was beating him up, you know, wrestling wise. I was tearing him up. So, you know, but I never had real, you know, I got that kind of look. I had that look where, you know, it helped me. It's my defense. Even when people used to come up to me in school, be like, man, you all right? You look like you're mad about something. I'm thinking something foolish, something, a joke or something. But I always had that face, which is, you know, helped me, served me. Why? So anyway, I say that because the very next day I get to the YMCA. I haven't even told Baba the story yet. I want to say it one time because I get hyped. So I'm in the Y. I'm working out. I'm the only black dude there. Never even been to the YMCA in my hometown. I went to the boys club. The Y was fancy. You know what I'm saying? So I get in there and first of all, I'm the only black dude and I'm doing unconventional stuff. First of all, I'm stretching. Nobody else ain't stretching. They getting in there. They just lifting weight. So I'm just stretching. And then I'm working with like 15-pound dumbbells, just squats and lunges. And I got 5-pound dumbbells, just, you know, doing little wrist stuff with the 5 pounds. And the whole time it's this dude. Cause you know, I'm aware, I'm the only nigga, so I'm watching everybody. But you watching them in mirrors and stuff, so they don't know, you know what I mean? Whatever. So this one dude, I see him, he got the 245s on each side. He did about like 10 sets of 10. He's what we would say back in the days, he top diesel. You know what I'm saying? He was diesel. He was a big old, must have been Greek because he had that dark tone with the Afro-ish almost type of hair, and he wasn't Jewish.
More Italian.
Could have been a time he had that greenish look almost. Italians be more brown. You know what I'm saying? It's like Greeks have that olive greenish look.
They green like they olives. Wow.
Anyway,
I was just about to say
not the Jesus olive, but the green olive. But anyway, so I see dude every time I look over there, he just keep laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? Every time I can't say laughing at me, but every time I look, he's like and shaking his head. This type of thing, right? So it's like, yo, is this laughing at me? So he ain't got no, he ain't got no earbuds. He ain't looking in his phone. He ain't got no friend. But I give him the benefit of the doubt, you know, maybe I know sometimes I'm silly. I'll think of a joke. I might think of something Baba said while I'm working out and start laughing. But it's 45 minutes went by. I just been watching. I ain't say nothing. At least about 10 times. I look over there. He's like, why he benching? And he benching. Yo, I wait. I said, yo, after 45 minutes, I know this is about me. So I was like, yo, how am I gonna handle this, right? Am I gonna let my ego, you know, whatever? So what happened is he curling now. He go off the bench and he curling. So I'm got the 5-pound weights in my hand. I'm doing this little, you know what I'm saying? Ain't really doing nothing, just doing that while I'm just doing that. That's all I'm doing, just with my leg up. You don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. Anyway, I look in the mirror. He's beside me now. He's like maybe 5 yards from me. And what he has a curl bar. I look in the mirror. He's waiting for me to look at him. This is the one that did it. He waits for me to look at him, and when I look, he's looking at me. When I look, he says, "It starts curling." It starts curling. I said, "Okay."
Yeah, he messing with you.
He messing with me, right? So I'm looking at it. I was like, "Yo, man, he don't know, man. This motherfucker. Excuse me. How much time we got? Can I start cursing? He don't know. I'm like, yo. So I said, you know what? This is what I thought about. I'm not bull jiving. I said, I could let this go. He's not really bothering me. It's not getting to me. You know what I'm saying? But the fact, if I let this go, he gonna go that much further with the next black person to come in there. You know what I'm saying? And what if that black person couldn't do nothing, don't have the ability to do anything with it, regardless. Or maybe I use that as an excuse, but regardless. Once he did that, I put my little stuff down. I act like I was walking by and I stopped and I said, hey man, you okay? And he was shocked. He was like, what? He still got the curl. Mind you, he still got he's got his hands full. Curling, got the 25s on both, so 35s, curling. He's like, what? I said, you okay, bro? And I got closer. Each time I said, you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm okay. I said, you should. He's like, yeah. I said, man, are you positive, bro? Are you sure, man? And I'm touching him. I'm up on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm really like this by the time I'm like, man, I seen you laughing, man. You ain't got no headphones. You ain't got no phone. Are you okay? You sure you're all right, man? And I'm trying to give him time to not be shocked and now deal with it in your face. I'm acting like I'm still acting though. I was like, man, are you? He's like, yeah, man, I'm okay. I said, but I just want to make sure, you know, man, that you ain't no joker shit or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure you say I'm safe. You know what I'm saying? You sure, man? You all right? Yo, you positive, bro? And he said, man, I'm okay. So, all right. Went right back over there and went to what I was doing like nothing was wrong. I stayed 20 more minutes. He ain't smiled not one time. Man, that's the end of that. That's that story. Now the next one is shorter. So that happened. Never seen him again. They told me the other guys said they didn't know who he was, you know, from out of town. You know, it's the holidays. Could have been from out of town or whatever. Downtown Wilmington. Anybody that's from the port that's on here, they already know when I say downtown what that means. Same thing as Buckhead when you're down there. Same thing. So I'm downtown. It's a grocery store downtown on Front Street that one of my friends, he's a friend of mine because, you know, I used to be in business down there. So I stopped by to talk to him. I'm talking to him. You know, a black dude. He's from the islands somewhere. I just know the islands. You know, but we talk. And he's telling me, he's like, man, these white folks think I'm dumb, man. You know, he's telling me, because I was just about to ask him, how you deal with these folks in here, you know? He's like, yo, man, they think I'm dumb, but you know, and he's talking, they can't hear what he's saying, but they walking in the store. So I'm listening to him, whatever. So he's like, so what are you doing now, man? You know, you was doing the martial arts thing. Where you remember? I was like, man, I'm a full instructor now, man. I'm about to start doing little private classes and blah, 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 and so and so and so. I'm talking to this dude. This dude comes behind me. Did I tell you this yet? Yes. Did I tell you this yet?
I don't think so.
This white dude comes behind me and puts something in my back. I don't know what it is. He put something to my back and said, well, what do you do if I do? He did. I didn't even let him finish. I want to show what I did. We have to stand up. But I want to show what I did. Amanika, do you think you can stand up for a minute? I'm going to sit this back right here. I'm not going to fully do it. You can stay right there, Bob. You're going to stay right here. We're not going to move. So I'm right here like this. So he's got that hand right to my back. What he has is what I don't know. He has a pair of tongs. But I don't know that. So I feel metal in my back. Real metal. So he said, well, what do you do? I said, oh, my God. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, what you? And I move like this and grab him like that on his face like that. Y'all can't see what I did, but I'm grabbing. We turn the other way. You see this right
turn
here?
Around that way so you can see how you have it on.
Okay. Let me turn. Right. Here we go. What I did was when I turned, I put my arm over here, grab this right here, the tongues, and put this right here. And she's not in no pain because I'm not doing it. But if you grab this right here and really do that right there, it's it's very painful.
On the elbow.
I'm squeezing right here. I'm not going to do her. I'm squeezing hard as I can. I'm pressing right there. And he started yelling. As soon as he did, the police walks in. Oops, I'm sorry. Let you go. I'm sorry.
Lucky dude didn't have no earrings on.
Ooh, boy. So
we should just snatch that.
As soon as I do that, the police walk in. They look at me. I'm holding the dude. I look at them, and the white dude's, oh man, no, man. He's a martial artist instructor. He's drunk. I didn't even know. I didn't see him. He's a martial artist. I'm a Marine, man. You know what I'm saying? We're talking close combat. Big white dude with the beard. This other white dude was bigger than me, but he was like, maybe like Akambola. Maybe like 6'4", you know, just big, you know, maybe like 250. This dude, I couldn't tell you how big he was. He was one of them redneck big dudes. He wasn't built. He was big.
Husky, big
beard, tattoos, forearm, about like that. Just one of them big dudes. He was like, yeah, man, it didn't end there. It didn't end there. He had the tones and he picked the tones back up because he dropped the tones. He drunk, so he ain't really hurting like that. But he was yelling for a second.
He's hurting the next day though.
Oh boy. He picked them. He picked it. Well, he yelled, so he was hurt with me because he yelled.
I'm talking about really hurting the next.
Right. Because I know I put it on him. I put it on him. So he picked the. So after he told the police, blah blah blah. The police sit down or whatever. I talked. You know, they cool because they two white dudes. He white. They sit down. They just watching him. So now I ain't doing no talking. You know, so I'm not. This shit ain't cool.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, man, you know, I train, you know, we train close combat, and I don't want to give him nothing either. That's what I'm thinking. Police talking about they do Krav Maga. I'm telling them how great that is. That's what I'm telling. Oh man, you got it then if you got Krav Maga. Because the guy asking the Marine was like, man, I don't know if that was the right thing you did. They didn't show us that. The cop said it looked like the right thing to me. The two white cops, it looked like he was doing the right thing to me. So he said he didn't stay, pick the tongues up. I started talking to the black dude again, the owner. He's like, man, okay, you got me on that, man. My back is turned to him. He's like, but check this out. When I turned around, he acted like he was going to stab me with it. I swear on everything. He acted like he was going to stab. So he coming like this. So I do exactly this. I move like that, right? And that was just instinct for real. So I boom like that and hit it off. And I want to hit him right in the face because he's right there, you know, when you do that face right there. But the police is right in front of me. So he said, oh man, you didn't do that one right, man. That wasn't the right one right there. He's like, your wrist was exposed, man. I was like, but I didn't grab, you ain't nowhere around. I ain't stated, but I'm not gonna argue with him. I was like, oh, you right. I said, you're right, man, you right. And he's like, well, what about this one?
Lord.
I swear that was the last one he did. Brother. He pointed in my face, and I did the same. I took it and bent it back like that, and pulled it back and jammed the tone in his neck like that. And I got him. He said, "Oh, okay." He's like, "That definitely wasn't right." The police said it looked right to me. He said, "Hey, man. Anything you want here, man. Get this guy anything he want. Get this guy anything he want." I want to say, you ain't got to buy him nothing. You can get anything you want here anyway. And I left on out. Wow. And that was a great feeling right there. That was a great feeling. But yeah, man, that has never happened. What the boldness? I can't believe it. I can't believe that I know I don't look like, I know I don't give off the feeling of the kind of dude you go behind with some motherfucking tones. Right. I don't knock that dude, so that tells me these motherfuckers is losing.
Well, it's the same. It's just like the chimp and the gorilla. It's just like the chimps and the gorilla.
There you go.
Things are happening in this world that are changing the ecosystem. So I told my wife, be careful out, because remember, Ahmaud Arbery's murderers were indicted. These crackers not happy about that. Right. There's so much going on right now.
Thinking about that stuff, you know.
That you know, you can only imagine what's in their heads, right? There's a saying, and we always look at it for ourselves, but it applies to everybody. Ogun blesses the swift and the bold. And so they're being bold. Ogun is iron in war, so they can be blessed in that war to harm you.
Mm-hmm. If you're not bold.
Right. So you have to be bold. And that applies to all of us. You know, some of us introverts and stuff like that. But when it comes to your survival, you have to be bold. So people know not to do whatever it is, and then you still have people like him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta be careful because the police are there, but you have to be bold, but you gotta be smart. So if somebody, so I was with Akin Bobala at this restaurant, you know, and you all know this big fool grabs me,
Right.
and he knows me, grabs me in the restaurant playing. I make games, but I don't play. So he grabbed my arm, and I pulled him in. I was about to hit him in the throat, and then I realized who it was. Now, what if I had an argument with that dude earlier? I'd have taken his life because he's being stupid. We probably wouldn't have done it if we had an argument, unless he's really crazy. So when he grabbed me, I'm here, and I stopped like an inch from his neck. And then he just fell into my chest crying. I said, brother, don't ever do that anymore, man. And then he insults me. After that, he said, man, if that was so-and-so,
all right,
they would have really hurt me. I looked like in Bobla, I said,
so he insults you for having control.
Right. And like that person's better than me. I'm that person's senior too. I looked like in Bobla, I said, this nigga. And then he just walked away. You know, I went back talking to Akin Bobala, ignoring him because you insulted me. Now you already acted a fool with me. We got nothing to say. We've never spoken again. I don't even know if he's still here. I don't know. But, you know, turn my back on him. Just so if Kalanji's still out there, so he know that's blah, blah. So now you know exactly what I'm talking about. So,
Kalanji.
Peace, Pam.
Yeah, peace. Oh, Pam. Hey,
and
Pam.
Also Gregory. I can't remember the last name, but further up.
Yeah, peace, everybody that's out there. Pam is actually one of my students and one of our comrades. So, hey, cool. Hey,
If everybody
Pam and her children.
All right.
Who are grown.
Just tuning in. We know it's a little bit grainy. Bear with us. We just made an announcement. We will be we do have a solution for this. We'll be introducing it by next week.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it. On the phone, this is
mine.
Rainy. Oh God, yeah. It's like we got one of those cartoon filters in there, drawing filters or something. Wow.
Think of it like radio.
Now, today, we're going to be dealing with, of course, survival and preparedness. Okay. I've had the honor of being the co-chair of the Urban Survival and Preparedness Institute with Kalanji. 2015, Kalanji came to me and said, hey, let's do this organization. You know, where we're teaching people survival and preparedness. I said, cool, you know, and I'm just chilling, not moving it forward or anything. Just, you know, when it happens, it happens. I teach a lot anyway, so, you know. And he would bring it up to me when we're going to do this thing, you know, launch this thing. I said, yeah, we're going to get to it. So he went and had the logo made and stuff. He said, I'm about to push this forward. Right. So he had the logo that we have made, sent it to me. I said, oh, snap. And that really lit the fire for us doing it. So originally he said to me, you know, you should, you know, just chair it. I said, no, we're going to co-chair it. Because people don't just need technique. They also need to know why they're doing the thing. They have to have politics behind that, the proper politics, right? Why you're doing it, who you're doing it for. If there's a crisis, everything falls down and you don't have politics, but you know how to survive and the people don't, you could easily become the other people's oppressor, their dictator, as opposed to teaching them how to survive too. And you all become a community that then grows and thrives together. Right. You could be the next slave master if you don't have the proper politics, right? So we're teaching the politics of and the techniques of, and of course, you know, COVID-19 hits us and we had to take a big break. But the beauty of our training is when COVID-19 hit all of us, we weren't panicking.
Right.
We were just prepared. But a student who we all know and love, who does the martial arts but don't train in USPI, he calls me, said, Baba, I'm getting ready. I said, oh, good, brother. Finally, yeah. You know, he said, yeah, I done bought 50 rolls of tissue. I said, what the hell did you do that for? And you hear his wife in the background say, I told you not to get all this damn tissue. His wife, who also been saying, we need to get with USPI. We need this training. And he just, I'm good. You know why he thinks he's good? He thinks he's good because, and I love him, and we've had this conversation. This ain't new to him. He thinks he's good because he lives close to me and he figures everything falls down, he gonna come to my house. But I had to tell him, if you show up at my house with your family, man, I love you. But I have supplies for my family and others who are gonna get to my house. Then we're probably gonna have to move from there, but that's one of our spots. So to re-up what they have, but I can't feed your family. Y'all coming with nothing but some damn tissue. Thanks. We can wipe our ass a lot. I mean, come on, man. But you can't eat tissue. You can't drink it. You can't fight with it. Like, come on. That same person years ago, I told him, and I hope he's watching. This is why I'm saying this. I told him years ago, get an AR-15 because most of us have an AR-15 so you can share ammo. What does he do? He gives AK-47 that nobody else has, so I couldn't give him any ammo to up that, right? So he says to me, but you have a such and such which shoots 45 rounds. I said, I also have a 45 pistol. Right. So I have rounds that could go in my pistol and in that particular rifle, but I have several rifles. Right. So you have people like that will not learn until the shit actually hits the fan. But now it's too late.
I know a lot of people call me during the pandemic. Man, I should have listened all that stuff you used to be telling me about.
And now the bad thing is, people like that, if they know you, they know where you live. They show up, you turn them away. Well, if you've seen that Boondocks episode when Ruckus shows up, they had the flu. It was a chicken flu, and he turns Grandpa and Huey and Riley. They had all their supplies. Mm-hmm. They turn Ruckus away, and he goes and gets the other people who weren't ready, and builds basically an army to go and attack their house and take their stuff. Well, that's very real.
Yes.
That's very real. So you got to now be prepared to defend against people that you love. That's why it's key that you train others once you learn, so you aren't put in that position. But I'm telling everybody, me, I love you, but I'll put you in the grave to protect those that are working to protect themselves, to protect my children, my wife. Yeah, I trained my own mama. I trained my sister. My mother has a cachet of things. We'll talk about what a cachet is, right? She has a cachet of food for them to survive. She called me up. She said, well, I know when the pandemic started, everything shut down. Well, I know y'all, ready. She's in Chicago. That bothered me because I gotten everybody to move here so I could keep people safe. But she had moved back with my sister to Chicago. She called me. She said, I know you're good. Did you check on so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so? I got several grown children. I said, yeah, I checked on them. They got their stuff too, right? But they worried about their mama. I told the children years ago, things fall down. Here's our plan. You can bring your mama. I went over with my wife. Is it okay if they bring their mama? Of course. You know, I know that's the kind of woman my wife is. So this is my ex-wife. I said, y'all can bring your mama. My two oldest, they have a different mama who I never married. So, you know, bring your mama. Now she's like, yeah, everything fall down, I'm coming. She had moved here too with their children. I had orchestrated all of this in case everything falls down and getting ready so I can protect everybody. Because you're protecting your children, but they worried about their mama. That could be problematic for their mind. Or make them run out and try to say their mama and they get killed or whatever, right? So I was trying to bring everybody in. Now my four children of my ex-wife, they're telling their mother, she looked at the paper, just threw it. Like, that's him with all that stuff still again, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I did what I could, right? This is the realities of the thing. You do what you can to help people, but if they reject the training or they're not being serious, you can only do so much. But you have to be prepared to protect yourself. And now you got to be prepared to talk to your family now. If your daughter came, but she cried for her mama, I want to go get my mama, it behooves you to say, hey, she can come too. But if she say, kiss my ass, ain't nothing gonna happen, I got Kroger.
I gotta let it stay.
Right.
And the thing is, we discussed this and talked about it, and until you said that, it made me think. So I know Neil baby told me, she was like, well, I'm gonna be going with you. This was when we first started USP. I said, I'm gonna be going with you. So I was like, all right, well, hey, you know the plan, you know what's gonna happen. Your mama and her husband gonna do that. I told, her mama, first of all, you can blah blah blah, but she gonna do her own thing. Mm-hmm. That's her. Her and we be blah blah blah. I was like, all right, well, Nia she come with me. She didn't argue that. Now I wonder if that's her loving her daughter enough to know that she gonna be put off with me. So that's the only time she ain't arguing with me.
Now I tell you, man, I got invited on this conversation on social media about survival and preparedness. And I'm giving advice to the people, and they're taking it and say, okay, I'm going to implement this. This wants to say, ain't no disaster ever going to happen to us. I said, well, why do you say that, sister? Because God gave us Kroger. Yeah, Kroger. At that point, I'm out. I said, you know what? I got another appointment because this is one of their key people.
That's a bad joke.
And I'm out of here.
That's a bad joke.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not even a joke.
The need to crack that kind of a joke is
no. She wasn't joking.
No, that's not a joke.
Deadly serious.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
She really meant that. Hey, God bless us with Kroger. So why would there be a disaster? I wish I could talk to her now. Now what? When stuff got locked down, now what? People were losing their mind. This is why they were buying tissue. Because they were panicking, they didn't know what else to do, so they're out here buying goddamn tissue paper.
The freeze on gun when there wasn't no guns, but I remember certain people how they was looking. I know people personally that was sick and had to go out and spend $1,000 for a $500 gun because you didn't have one when you were supposed to.
The student that we all know and love with the AK-47. He had shot up all his ammunition. Then he tried to get some and couldn't get none. So right now, all he has is a paperweight.
He shoot it up for New Year's?
Probably. All he had was a paperweight during the pandemic.
Easy D, as far as a spot in DC, I believe that was you that asked that, where you could train urban survival preparedness. I'm not sure. I would look into that on social media. And
I think that was Gregory.
Gregory, that was Gregory.
Now,
so one thing, the USPI, the Urban Survival Institute, we travel now. We will hit the road and do a workshop or two. So if that's something you want to organize, that's anybody in your city. If you want to organize that with urban survival preparedness or the African martial arts, we don't really talk about that too much, but you can always do a workshop. We will hit the road.
With the African martial arts, the reason why we haven't, because it requires touch.
Yeah.
And with this time, but as far as surviving preparedness, we can do that without.
Yeah.
Now, somebody said also it's advisable to have some candy with you, like a Twix.
I was gonna say something.
Now what I'll say in that is have some candy, some alcohol,
all
that portrayed for water.
Right.
But now, and because many people have a sugar addiction, whatever addiction you have, you got to take care of that bad boy.
Better have that on tap.
Because you can't say, well, I'm going to go cold turkey off of heroin and stuff. You're going to be forced to if it goes long enough.
You ain't going to go cold turkey around me.
I don't want you going cold. So if you say, well, I'm a heroin addict, y'all didn't know, I've been doing heroin for the last 15 years. And then you say, well, I'm going to go cold turkey now. I'm gonna toss you out there with the turkeys.
I'm gonna say the same thing with
because
alcohol.
You can't, and alcohol too. You can't just go cold turkey off that. That's very unsafe for everybody. Now I talk about it's funny. A lot of times, TV shows be like, man, get this crap out of here. But they have some real things in there.
Oh yeah.
Walking Dead, which he's acted in several episodes. In The Walking Dead, they had this one character who's a medic, and he's an alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
He is so messed up. They're running from the zombies. He sees a bottle of alcohol, bottle of liquor. He goes and gets that bottle of liquor. Risk his life and others for that bottle. That's very real.
Yes. Somebody do that for cigarettes. Somebody do that for a Newport.
Yes. So, hey, in your go bags, your survival bags, put whatever your addiction is to, and with the Twix, hey, if you gotta do that. But
contact this man right here on Instagram. I'm sorry, he was asking about how to contact on the USPI thing. Yeah.
On Instagram, USPI _USPI. Then what do you call that?
Underscore.
Yeah, underscore. Now, the key though is to try to get off those addictions now. When you have a chance, because a pandemic just hit.
Exactly.
We're still in the midst of it, but it's calming up now. Try to get off these addictions, man, because I mean you're not fit for the fight for us.
I got off the dope, last week.
You got a crack?
No, that's dope. Heroin.
Heroin?
Yeah. Last week I quit. That's it. Ain't no more for me.
That's crazy. Because I put some in your smoothie. No. So if you can get off drugs, I know that it's a sickness.
Right.
So we can't just get off drugs. We're not hand waving this shit now.
If you don't, make sure
work hard to do it. I don't know. I don't have the solution on how, because I've never been an addict of anything. So
be realistic with
work.
yourself, like you were saying. Don't plan to go cold turkey. If you ain't stopped right now, make sure you have what you need to perform to be
and that's why don't sit up here and say I'm gonna do when everything falls down.
You ain't never done it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be ready. It's okay. We got a hunt for 10 miles. I'm gonna be ready when it happens. How? And you're not walking. You're sitting at home.
Right. If I got it, I run, but you never done it.
Right. Nah, don't do that to yourself.
Peace, Dexter Doc out there.
Peace, Doc.
Yeah, don't start. If you don't train it, that's real. You won't do it.
No.
You won't do it.
No, I'll do it when everything when I have to. It don't work like that.
I thought I was gonna go out today and run a mile, even though I ain't ran one all year. I got about a quarter way. I U-boned it on around after about a quarter mile. I ain't make it.
I've been
don't lie to yourself.
Walking to get myself back, and it doesn't take long. Before I had a heart attack in 2015. I was walking to get myself back in shape. I thought it would be a while. 2 weeks later, I was running.
And they tell you walking is the best way to get yourself in shape. I thought.
2 weeks later, I was ready to run. I'm with the family, and my wife's out there too. I said, no. I took off. And she's like, what in the world? Because I've been running a little bit. I knew I could, right? Took off on her. And I said, what the heck? The children behind me, my youngest on the scooter, my son, who's the second youngest, he's on his bike, and they riding, and I beat all of them. And they're like, what in the world? How in the heck did you do this? I said, just don't tell my mama. Because my mama was like, boy, you ain't gonna be out there running, that kind of stuff, right? But the truth is, you got to exercise.
I hear you, James. What you're saying about?
That's why I don't trust religious people. They really
that's not
believe
just
in the tenets
religious
of being
people.
saved. Yeah. Well, I would say
Pray with your feet.
religion. You can do anything religiously. You can eat pig religiously. If you're talking about religion as far as spiritual people, or it could be a Christian, it could be a pastor, it could be whatever, just a person go to church. Most people, when they speak about religiously, they think in regards to Christianity. Even an atheist is just a disillusioned Christian. I know there's atheists out there. I'm sorry, but atheists will try to argue with me, and where do dead people go when they die? In the grave. What? Where does your spirit go? If there's a rapist and there's a saint, where do they go? I said, same place. Huh? I said, dude, you're used to arguing with Christians. Maybe a Muslim even. Those are Judeo-Christian,
right,
right.
thing.
I said, I practice Ifa, and I'm a priest of it. So when you talk about religion, be careful, because there are so many things out there that you don't know about. I am a priest of Ifa. Okay? I am a spiritual person. That ain't got nothing to do with defending yourself, but then it has everything to do when you study it from an African standpoint, because Ogun is the spirit of iron and war. And Ogun says there's nothing that his warriors won't have an answer to. But that means you have to train and study, or you ain't going to have an answer out of osmosis. Ogun is iron and war. But Ogun, the Aodu, Okano no Sa says, the cutlass, the knife, the hoe, the gun, they have no effect. They mean nothing except a human being picks it up. So this is Ogun. But this is Ogun too. Ogun is in us. I always say, this right here, can that harm you? Just sitting there. Can't I? The person got sense. Yes, they know that, right? Yes. I can harm you. If I pick this up, can I harm you more? Yes. The external Ogun
more dangerous.
Makes me more dangerous, but I also make it more dangerous, because it has no effect unless I pick it up. That's the truth of Ogun, Oshun, Shango. All of it is human beings that are these things. Okay? So God is you. So be careful when we talk about that kind of stuff. Because if you don't know a thing, it doesn't exist. So be careful when we talk. Otherwise, we'll be talking about something we don't know about. You best be spiritual, because this is the house of spirit. If I punch somebody in their throat, that's spiritual. My spirit affected their spirit. It's just, this is the conduit for it. If I shoot somebody, did the gun shoot somebody, or did I shoot them? I shot them. The gun is the conduit for that power. This is the conduit for power. This is the conduit for power. But it has no effect unless somebody picks this shit up and calls or looks on the internet or whatever. Don't get that confused, man.
Because what he was saying, actually, that just really goes for most of us, period. Most of us believe we'll be saved. That's why most of us don't do anything. Most of us aren't religious people. We just so used.
Right.
We just so used to that. We so used to it always being,
And the only man we used to saving is the white man. The white man is our savior. No, you're your savior. You're your God. Next to the creator, which in African traditions, we don't even worry about the creator, because the creator is not really dealing with our affairs. If you say the creator of everything, you so special that the creator of everything, ants, the wind, the trees, that's just on this planet, mushrooms and different, you so special that the creator of everything's worried because you sad?
Man,
Come on, man. What? That don't make no sense.
Why you gotta put it like that?
This is a God or your
100
head.
trillion billion planets out there.
Right.
You sad.
And you sad, and it's going to deal with you. Like, come on. He's out dealing with this, something out here. Oh, Johnny's sad. Let me help Johnny. Johnny better help his goddamn self. Because Johnny has Ori, a head. And this head is the second most powerful thing in the universe, the multiverse, next to the creator itself.
I just read the Ori Predator.
This is what we did when we talk about your guardian angel. It's your head. Stop looking for a savior. You're saving yourself. A brother from the nation is funny. Nation of Islam, because they believe God's a man. That don't. But a lot, because they haven't studied, they think it comes from there. Like that was created by Master Muhammad. That idea. No. I'm talking to a brother in the nation, young brother. Well, we say young. He's 30. He's younger than me, But he says he's talking, about like. I know, a brother like you, he doesn't, know my tradition. You think, the God's spook out there, but, let me tell you, brother, it's, God's a man. I said, oh, yes. So I went deeper into it, into the head, Ori, and 3 parts of Ori, and other. He said, see, you're just saying that because, the nation believes God's a man. Really, son? Really? What you don't know, too, I was in the nation first. And so that concept I understood. So when I came to the African traditions, it didn't shock me. Because yes, indeed, I did learn that concept while I was in the nation. But I learned that has been around for thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of years. We knew that. Okay. And it's all dealing with survival because it's the confusion of that we don't survive, that we'll think that God gave us Kroger. See?
God gave us slavery so we can be in America.
Or now, but black people, part of us know God's a man. A person going under surgery, pastor praying, God the surgeon's hand. He don't just say, God just heal you. God heal you. And you know it. You get into a car accident, I pray it don't happen. Your car flips, blue, you call in there, you're not going to say, oh, some Jesus saved me. Some guy saved me. You're going to say, somebody saved me. Some Orisha saved me. Because it's some people that practice the African tradition so wrapped in Christianity that they practice like a Christian. So they don't understand. They think, Akin Bobola, one of the students asked me one time, because it says that God came, Obatala, who was like God the Father, came to earth on a chain. He said, I got to ask you about, Batala when he came to earth. I said, oh, you're talking about that chain, ain't you? He came from heaven to the earth in a chain, on a chain. I said, it's a big ass chain, wasn't it? And he's like, yeah, I'm just, confused. Now, mind you, he's a priest to be fired now, but if I had been spooky, he never would have been. He's like, man, this guy's spooky. He just want to say it to me because he respect me. I said, that would be amazing if a big chain could come down from heaven, wherever that's at, because you can fly as high as you want to and you're going to find heaven. I've jumped out of a plane 10,000 feet. I didn't jump past Jesus. Hey, Peter, St. Peter. So you can go real high if you want to, but so heaven ain't up there. If a chain came down from heaven, that would be amazing, right? That would be amazing. But what's more amazing is that the ancient Africans knew that the DNA helix, it looked just like a chain. That's more amazing. That is what's amazing. That's why they say Obatala came from heaven to earth, from heaven, the womb and the mind, and your shrine, which is shaped the same as the womb and the head. Heaven, you came from, and actually heaven, your mind is your whole body, by the way, not just your brain. But we came Just Obatala came from heaven to earth on a chain, DNA of human beings. This is what that means. So just wanted to cut through all that so there won't be any spookism. There's no spookism. There's no, so praying is not going to save you in a pandemic. I think you learned that in 2020 because you can pray all you want to.
Not saying prayer won't help. But
Prayer helps because we pray. But prayer, like the Bible says, prayer without works is dead. You have to work. You catch COVID-19 and you think you're just going to pray and ain't nothing else. That's it. I just pray and it's going to go away. Yeah, it's not. It's still there. It's still there. You're going to pray. People, they have prayer vigils to get rid of COVID-19 so we be free of it. It's still here.
Yeah, I mean,
During Hurricane Katrina, during the disaster, I'm sure people prayed, but it was still there. People were still going through that shit.
During slavery, I'm sure.
During slavery, oh boy, once they let us get the Bible, we prayed. And before that, we prayed because we knew to pray to God. We prayed. But while we prayed, we should have went and slaved. Because in Haiti, they prayed. And then they slaved, and they got their independence. They took it.
That's how they were saved. They prayed, slaved, and then they were saved.
Right. They saved themselves. They Ori. In Haiti, the war in Haiti, if you want to call it that, rebellion, whatever you want to call it, that began during the Ogun Festival. That's all I'm saying. Ogun blesses the bold and the swift.
Wow. If you'd like to know more about the Ori and the African mindset, pick up Balagoon's Ori, the African mindset by Baba Balagoon. Available on Amazon and all platforms.
There you go.
I have to do it for him.
No, I will not do that.
And we're going to get into
so
USPI Surviving the Urban Apocalypse. This is another series that can be found. Again, if you look at Amazon, you can look these up. Going on his Instagram page, you'll see these. You have Surviving the Urban Apocalypse. You have the USPI Manual. You have
Urban
Malik,
Survival Manual.
or the Urban Survival Manual. You have Malik, Confessions of a Black Extremist, which is really Black prepping, just how to do it. He giving you the story
under fiction.
Yeah, it's under fiction.
Surviving the Urban Apocalypse. It starts as fiction and then it goes into Surviving the Urban Apocalypse too. It's fiction.
I forgot about.
But then it goes into actual techniques and methods. Okay.
It's a great book. Seriously, if you don't know what you need, if you don't know where to start at, I'm not just promoting this because it's him. Seriously, this is how I learned, and this is why, and I'm able to show somebody else everything that we've done basically in urban survival preparedness, except for the secret stuff that we can't tell you because you ain't in urban survival preparedness. No, but basically everything is in this book.
What age would you say the story is appropriate for?
So, Surviving the Urban Apocalypse, 13 and up, and Malik probably more like 15 and up.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've done, and my wife keeps saying you need to do a book for children. You need to do a book for children. You need to book for children on prepping. You need to book, and I probably do.
How to kill for kids?
Because because and not just about, because I've done books about how to protect children and how.
Definitely.
But as far as to fictionalize it and put these things in, I'm probably going to do that. Not probably, I'm going to do that because one of the things you need to have in your survival bags, which we call go bags, some people say bug out bags. You need to have books. Electronics aren't going to be working, so you need to have books. And once again, just like alcohol, whatever your addiction is, working to get off it now, work to start reading now. Reading is an exercise.
Sure is.
So one time I had a discussion with somebody here. I won't say who they are. It wasn't Ominique. That he said something about my writing. It was early on, and he said something about my writing, right? And I said, he said something about he hadn't read much of what I had done then. He said somebody asked me, "Am I a skillful writer?" or something like that. I said, "You got to ask, are you a skillful reader?"
Woo.
Right. And so I don't know if you remember that, but we were, it was like doing martial art class.
That was great, Bobby.
So
I forgot about that. We've been cutting me for a long time.
So a lot of times, if you're saying, "Man, this
Oh,
book,
that was hard.
This ain't no good writer," this ain't maybe, but ask yourself, are you a skillful reader?
That's not Baba's books. I've read some of those books, or tried to read some of those.
You talking about hard to read books?
Yes.
Yeah. Now some books are hard to read.
Yeah.
And then even then, because there's a writer that's, her job is, oh my gosh, oh God.
There's a few of them.
And I have to ask myself, damn, I thought I was a skillful reader. Because is it just me, and I've heard from many people that they've never been able to finish that person's books. They can't. So it ain't just me. But ask yourself that and train yourself. Because if you're reading, student of mine says reading gives them a headache. I don't know if it's their eyes. I don't want to just clown them and say, get the hell out of here, man. I don't know if it's their eyes or they just don't read so much that it gives them a headache.
That's probably what it is. They probably need glasses. Usually people
Probably.
that need reading
There's
glasses.
that headache or something. And so,
But they can't eat vegetables either, huh?
with some give them a stomach ache. So when you read, if you say, man, I can only read a page, or I read 10 pages, but I forgot. I got to go back because I forgot. That means you just need more practice. That's all.
Yeah.
It's like it's anything. Is it's an exercise. It's training a part of your brain, and so that part of your brain has to be trained. Don't feel guilty about that. Just train it.
You're a very skillful writer, Bob.
No, well, thank you.
I'm sure at the time I was asking you what you thought of your writing. I definitely wasn't saying you think you're skillful.
No, he was clowning me. So I was clowning back. Yeah, you were clowning me. I can't remember exactly how it went. But
no, I remember something though. It was something. I was being funny. You said I remember. I'll never forget that one. Are you a skillful? Because I used that to somebody else, matter of fact. But anyway, so we're getting into it.
Yeah. So, one thing is to start off. Let me see here. Where do we want to start it? Because there's so much
The difference between urban and
different. Okay, let's start with yes, because there's so much in urban survival and preparedness, and we'll have to do a part 2 because of
and a 3 and
how
a 4.
much. Yeah, exactly. So the difference between urban survival and preparedness. Number one is what your focus is. So, I mean, the simplest part is urban survival versus rural survival. Most people do rural survival, training for the outdoors. And that's good. You know, in the military, I did that. And that's why most people do that, because they're being taught by people who form military. And that's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's trained in their special forces trained, they're also trained in urban survival. And then I'm sure you've heard of Delta Force. That's what they specialize in. So why are they special? Because they're going to special forces. Main mission is to train the indigenous people to fight against their people. So we got a group of special forces going and train the people. So you don't always have to have an army there. You train that person to fight their own people. That's the number one mission, just so you know. Don't believe in the oppressor liber, to free the oppressed. That's not really what it does. Okay. Now, and that's not to demonize them. I'm just telling you the truth. So most people are trained for wilderness, urban survival. When we say urban, I mean it's rural. We're including that as far as wilderness. Okay. Urban survival deals with training to survive in the cities. Big part of wilderness survival, rural survival is, or people say outdoor survival, bushcraft. You should know all of those things now. The big thing is they're training for when shit hits the fan. They're training for a shit's hit the fan situation. They're training for Hurricane Katrina. They're training for when this pandemic hit. They're training for, right? And you need those things, you know. Urban survival trains for every day. Every day you walk out this door, every day it's not going to be a Hurricane Katrina. It's not always going to be a pandemic. Okay, either pandemic going to kill everybody, or eventually our bodies will become immune. We won't have to worry about it, right? So it's not always, but it's always going to be danger out here. And you have to be prepared. That's what urban survival is about. And Black people, boy, we're in danger everywhere. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of us ain't gonna be able to get to the rural areas.
So most Black people live in the cities. Right. When a disaster hits, there are going to be so many people trying to get out and get to the countries, like the country, like there's no violence in the country. Right. Right. So many people are going to try to get there. One reason is because, and they're not, because so many people trying to get there, you're not going to be able to get there. Right. We know people that were in Hurricane Katrina that tried to get here to Atlanta, which is a 5-hour trip. When Hurricane Katrina was announced, they said evacuate. It took them 19 hours to get here for a 5-hour trip. 2 days later, you couldn't get out the city at all. So you're not going to no forest. But people think they go to the forest and they'll live off the land. You can't eat most of what's in the forest, y'all. That's why people farmed and continue to farm, because you can't. You got to cultivate what you can eat. You can't eat what mostly is out there, so you're in danger. You still got to have supplies.
Most of us ain't ready for that type.
And people say, well, carry seeds. Yes, carry seeds, but that's for thriving, not for surviving. Because you plant, how long does it take for those seeds to grow into plants that you can eat?
Stable environment.
Right. So
place you can defend.
You gotta first be able to survive. Then you can thrive. Okay. But you first have to be able to survive. Number one is now I have a get home bag, I have a go bag. You don't need both, just have your go bag to start, and then you can get more advanced. So in a go bag, you need a couple of things. Y'all want to talk about some things that y'all have in your bags?
Sure. So for me, I have 2 bags I keep, and this is one. And one thing about your to-go bag, I'm not going to go too much of it. You don't want it to look like a military issued whatever. So when people see it, they thinking, oh, well, you must have some ammunition, something in there, because it look like that. For me, so this bag.
Oh, on that too, not just your bag, you too.
Right.
That's why I'm wearing this. So you can have on a vest. If you don't have a bag, get you a vest with a bunch of pockets and you can carry certain things. But this, when we get to talk about everyday carry, I'll deal with that. But if you're wearing a boonie hat, that military hat like that, or you're wearing a Marine cap or whatever, or you got your green beret on or red beret or something, you like a fool. But 2, that's why she laughed. You look crazy as shit. But 2, you're out there. People coming for your shit.
You're a target.
Now that may work for the first 2 days. Shit really go down. But after a while, they saying, man, that dude, he got that military backpack. Right. He got that bony. We taking this shit.
Thank you for mentioning that. This is a part of preparedness too. Don't be online, on Twitter, on Facebook, with your rifles, with your children and your family in front of your house, which I've been seeing this, man. I repost and be like, do not do this because that's so dangerous for so many ways, so many reasons.
I sent a DM to a sister who showed in front of her house. She got all her guns laid out.
Yes.
I sent a DM to her. I told her address, where she lives. And she was like just terrified. I said, sister, I'm only telling you that so you know you're giving that to everybody who knows what they're doing, who's looked at that picture.
Right. They know
take it down because now I know exactly where you at. So if I didn't have my own, I'd take your shit.
And they think that they got guns that somebody ain't coming to get.
That's the thing. So she was wise enough to know if this dude can figure out where I'm at from just looking at that picture, he can take my shit. He got the capabilities.
Exactly.
So know that. But what she said was, well, a person like you has the capabilities. They're going to have their own. So they're not going to take my stuff. I'm like, sister, there are people I know who were in SF with me who are homeless right now.
How does she know that? I can't understand when people just assume
because people assume that.
Right. You don't know that level of
I know
what they're gonna do.
I know a dude who was in SF with me. He's homeless, man. At any time, he wouldn't have to be.
Right.
And so if things get bad enough, I don't know if he's homeless now. This was
I know some people that choose to be homeless. Like I said,
right. If he chooses to be inside, he'll be inside.
In your shit. So yeah.
So just be realistic and be careful. And surviving is not a show. It's not a show. You can show what you have. So we got Doc on here, right? Doc will show you, how to stop the bleed, all those things, right? But you ain't gonna see Doc just, with a bunch of weapons around him, stop the bleed, and then get ready to cause the bleed. I mean, that would be ridiculous. That would be doing a show, but people would eat it up.
Right.
More people would come to this class. I could do that if y'all could see how I shoot. Have you ever seen me shoot? Oh yes, you have. I can shoot. I can clown. You got people on there to shoot, and you're not seeing what they're hitting, right. So you don't know if they can shoot or not. I could take a mannequin, and I'll say I'm gonna hit it in his left titty. I hit it twice in his left titty.
He could be on TikTok being famous.
And I could do that and do all kinds of shows, and I could quick shoot like this dude, shooting all over, targets around him, and people woo and get all these likes.
See, that's why I don't know how to do that.
And then people wouldn't take. People would come that they aren't serious. They're for the show, and we don't want them around us like that. But also, that does you no good for your survival. Most of those people don't. Most of those people, they're for the show. They're taking steroids to look, all the part. How does that look the part? When I was in SF, now they show people in SF, they're huge. Right, when I was in SF, maybe two dudes were big like that. In the whole fifth, only maybe two. When I'm talking about the fifth special forces group, only everybody else was lean. You were in shape now. Mm-hmm. Everybody was lean muscle, not this big old steroid monster. Because that's the show that looks good to folks. Typically, you see a dude, he's black and he's a shooter. He big like that and got a big old Rick Ross beard. Because that looks good to folks, and that is the image is now in people's mind. That's how a mug is supposed to look.
I'd rather be slim and look non-threatening.
You want to right? You walking around like that, stuff fell down, and people ain't got shit. They starving. They've been starving for 30 days.
When they see you,
they see you walking out there, and you got a boonie hat on, big old beard.
Shoot him.
You right there. Say, get that motherfucker. In fact, we eat him because he big. He got a lot of meat on him.
Oh my goodness! A white dude said that on my page.
You cannot be walking around olive drab bags. A lot of people had that because they bought that before. They got taught properly.
Right.
If you can get another bag, like my daughter's bag, got flowers on it, but it's big, so it's able to carry all kinds of stuff in it. Right. The one bag I have, my get home bag is brown leather. my bag, my actual go bags, a 10-day bag is gray. So you can get gray, blue. You don't have to have a flower. I'm not walking around with a flower bag.
Right.
But you can get gray, blue. Yeah, well, you want to walk around with a flower bag. I'm just not doing that. They don't match my clothes, my other clothes. But so gray, blue, all black is okay, but it's getting tactical.
Yeah, my trick. I'm thinking they think this is a 10-night bag. They're gonna be thinking I'm trying to be stylish. I ain't got nothing in here. I don't know nothing about.
And you can have like Timberland. You can have I don't know if Coach makes backpacks. I don't want to sound ignorant.
They do.
So you get a Coach backpack, and if you got that money, you can get something like that. As long as it's sturdy,
that'll throw them
and
off.
it's good if it has a lot of pockets or good space,
right.
so you can put your stuff in. Okay, so that's how you want to start with it. Now, as far as what's in it.
Okay. So you got yours, what you do?
I know.
So for this one right here, this is my it's my quick, I call my medic bag basically. So for one thing, I got my first aid kit in here. My quick first aid kit. I got my
on that with Doc in here. Make sure you got a medical kit.
I got my kit from
Doc. Right. And I did too. So when you see Dexter Peggins, that's Doc. Doc, share your link here. You can get your medical kits from him.
I don't have it in this one. Mine is my other bag.
I believe it's called a IFAK kit, IFAK.
Yeah, he has a few.
And that's the kit that you should get if you can afford that. So and you may have smaller kits, but
different price ones depending on what you want to get. I keep my my first aid stuff in this right here is waterproof or whatever. So this is my main stuff. This is my Band-Aid, my gloves, my tape, what's that? Back and body, pain medicine, all my little stuff, my alcohol, my gloves. I keep all that in here. I also have peroxide and alcohol that I keep in here, just in case. A little peroxide, a little alcohol. Some toothbrushes, soap, zip ties. Just in case I have to restrain myself from hurting somebody. Believe it or not, I keep some little snacks in here. You have snacks in any bag, just little snacks. I keep a bunch of these little, protein bars in there. And of course, keep me a little $2 Walmart knife in there. I need to take that out. Switch that one out. I keep that in there. I got some toothpicks. No, toothpicks, not toothpicks. What? Popsicle sticks. I also have, this last thing I'll show is my hammer. Keep the hammer.
You got some rope. That's important too now.
Oh, well, yeah, I got rope in here.
Rope.
Cable, rope. I get that in here.
550 paracord if you want to get, something that's sturdy.
So 550 paracord are in my shoestrings. They're in my shoes.
So on that, too. Okay. So it's going to everyday carry along with that. I have my hiking boots, and in that I have what they call indestructible laces. Mm-hmm. That's not 550 paracord, but that I can use that as a saw.
Yep.
As a garrote, around neck if I had to use that as a tool to survive, to defend myself. If you're tied up, you can use that, and we'll do an episode on that, on how to cut zip ties
with the paracord. Yep.
You can use paracord, or you can use your regular laces. These laces will cut it quick.
Yeah, the paracord much faster.
You can use paracord for different things. Paracord to wrap around your the handle of your knife. Different things. You can use it as a necklace. If anybody's seen my keys, I keep a lot of 550 paracord in different places. This is 550, and this can unravel, and I can use this for different things. Okay, it's very sturdy. All right, so you can use it in all kinds of ways for all kinds of things. So remember, get you some 550 paracord. In your bag, you want to have light source, three, and you always want to have three. It's a rule of threes for everything.
Yeah, so I have 3 flashlights. I got 2 and then 1 head flashlight in here too.
Head flashlight, you know, a regular hand flash, like here. This is my everyday carry stuff, but you know, hand flashlight. I want flashes very bright, but well, I flash it kind of off to the side. I don't want to hit none of y'all in the face. But it's very bright. You can see that, and then it can do different things. It can strobe. It can do different stuff. It can, you know, turn into a lantern, all that good stuff. This is a nice one. There's paracord there. See, this could also smackaroni if you had to use it to take someone. Right.
Supplies. Always got some good. Want to keep some vice grips. You know, just never know. It's also a tool.
So 3 lighting sources in your bag. 3 heating sources.
Rules of 3. Y'all got warm.
So, matches. Right. You put them in a pill box, some so they don't get wet, just in case. A lighter, if you want to use that. Flint and steel. And you know, we're going to start doing classes outside too, so you can learn how to make fire. Because there are other ways you can use your environment. But flint and steel. Carry you some lint from your dryer. Put in a Ziploc bag to use that as kindling. I carry a battery in my a 9-volt battery in my go bag, and that's to make fire with, and we'll go into that a little later, how to use a 9-volt battery to make fire, and steel wool. Put it on there, put it on the steel wool, it sparks off, you hit that lint, you set it on fire. Also, you take you some cotton balls, you dip them in petroleum jelly, Vaseline, Concoline, that kind of, put it, petroleum jelly, you light that, burn it, it'll burn for a long time.
Nice.
Okay. So you can use that. Petroleum jelly soaked cotton balls. You take you a can after you eat. Can of because you want to have your can too. Not too many cans to make that bag heavy quick. But you have your can of beans. After you eat that, take the top off. If you got a good knife, you should have a good knife, good knives, 3 of them. Remember. You cut a little window in there. You can put that cotton ball down there, set it on fire. Put that in a tent or in a room or whatever, and that will warm up a tent. I decided, me, my wife, she was pregnant with my son. No, with my daughter. My son's already born. So this was in 2008. She was like 9 months pregnant, actually, with my daughter Amy. We decided to go out, do some survival training. Mind you, this is in early November. It was cold as hell too, especially for Atlanta. It was cold.
It was cold. I remember.
And pop the tent. I won't talk about everything that happened before. That was crazy, but I was gonna just abort the trip. There was other people with us there. We went shooting, and there was a person in there who was looked at as a leader of our group, was being real weak. And I was like, okay, look, me and you are the leaders of this group. You're acting so weak. It's not USPI, so no, it's not about Kalanje. Kalanje ain't never acting weak. I said, we need to shut this down because you've already shown, whining. I can't take this. My hair. All that. My hair from the gunpowder. This is a person that is the shooting instructor, was. I said, no, man, this is looking weak. I'm going to shut this down. So my wife and his wife come to me and they say, Baba, we popped the tents and everything. We don't want to leave. It's a lot. There's going to be a lot of work to break it down. I said, but look how he's acting. And they said, please, you know, and she said, I control him, and, you know, let's just, you know, do this weekend. So I said, okay, cool, because we're going to be there 3 days. I didn't know about, you know, and he got okay after a while, but I said, okay, well, I'm going to not use my sleeping bag. It's the stupidest thing I ever decided. I'm going to train myself. I'm going to make sure I can still survive out here with just making my own heat in the tent where it's safe for us, but so I can survive. And if you have if you like, just so you know, if you like that petroleum soaked cotton ball in a tent, you can't have that tent closed because it's petroleum. You'll jack yourself up. Yeah. If you're going to do that, close it, you use a tea candle, which is what I did. Lit my tea candle, let you know how cold it was. My wife and my son, he was, you know, a little boy then, 6. They're in the sleeping bag, so they're fine. I light the tea candle, and I'm fine. It's warm the tent, I'm fine. Man, as soon as that bad boy, it was so cold, as soon as that bad boy went out, I immediately woke up, because that's how cold it was. I was, oh my God, shit. And I'm just starting to lock up. I couldn't even go on my bed to get another tea light. Wow. We had a fire going outside, and we were doing shifts, you know, security shifts, and the person out there is also making the fire keep going because the coyotes were all around us. We're in primitive camping, right? So I go out and sit at the fire. That's really what they would have saved me. I wouldn't have died. I'd have been jacked up though. It was like 40 degrees, maybe 30, about 35 degrees. It wasn't 32. That's freezing. That probably would have killed me. I said, but why? I hear him because he said, I'm gonna do it too. I hear him. I'm so cold. I almost said her name because he said her name. I'm so cold. Hold me, hold me. And she probably watched this, and she know. And if he watches, he knows, right? I love him, but come on, that was weak as shit. The story. And she's holding them. The moral of the story is don't be stupid and try to beat the elements, and you know better. I don't want you to hurt this. Don't talk about dude too bad.
Greetings, Anthony D.
Greetings, Anthony D. So what I did, salute Anthony D. So what I did, I left after my shift was over, security. I really just like, hey, I'll take your shift too, because it was so cold. When I went inside, I tapped Y'all Lagoon. My wife said, baby, is there room for me in there? I got up in there with them. She said, we'll make room. My leg and arms all over my wife. We all in the tent, all crunched up.
So in other words, you said, hold me.
Yeah, basically, when I was saying it, I was just like him. Hold me, baby. I'm cold. Except I wouldn't ever say that. You'd never get me said out my mouth.
Seriously, you put some action.
Another
actually speak louder than words.
Another point, though, man, and this is a part of the training. It looks bad, sets a bad tone when the leaders. That's what Bob would teach us the same way. If I'm tired, I don't be like, oh man, in the middle of class, I'm tired, man. Y'all go ahead. You know what I'm saying? No, I stopped for a minute. I started instructing a little bit. You don't want to show too much weakness as a leader. You know what I'm saying? So what you were saying was very real.
I know some people will say, that's why, not supposed to have leaders. Stop. Teachers are leaders.
Do we have to address that?
Really shouldn't, but I know a lot of our people, because we've been so let down by leaders.
Let me just say
that we feel that.
That's because you got leaders leading nowhere. We political leaders in American politics. That's not a real leader. The leader is real simple. If this the man that know about this the most, this the man that should be leading that.
Right. So a leader doesn't have to say the same. Right. If we are surviving, 2 people got broke legs. Don't look for me to lead that. You better look for Doc.
Right.
I'm like, damn, I know how to break legs. I'm not too skilled at
Right, we gotta go save.
Now the Asians will say, if you know how to break a bone, know how to heal a bone.
could say
you can say whatever you want to say, but if you are an expert at breaking bones, you probably didn't spend a lot of time learning to heal them bad boys. And if you did, you're a bad motor scooter.
And then
because I definitely know how to break a bone, know how to dislocate a joint.
That's what the
but all I tell you, I do know how to put a splint on. I know how to put an ace bandage.
No, that's why our doc is.
And that's why we have doc.
We have a village.
Right.
We break the bones, doc mend the bones. He's part
right.
of the village. That ain't my job.
And in that, if I break somebody, I ain't breaking one of y'all. I break our enemy's bones. Damn his bones.
Setting his bones.
But also, if we do set his bones, it's a strategy. Like, oh shit, I broke his bone, but he's the leader of a group of people that got control of this bridge we need to cross. Doc, can you please heal this dude's leg? Okay. And we send him with some bandages and maybe some extra food.
Mm-hmm.
So now when we go to hit that bridge to go across, we ain't got to fight to get across it. We save that dude's leg who did attack us.
Right.
Had to defend ourselves, and they'll know. But he healed me. They could have killed me.
To know
that's all strategy.
To know what should be in your to-go bag, or if you bugging in or bugging out, all of those things, you can find those things on the USPI Instagram page. You can and it'll either refer you to the it'll be a post about it, or it'll be a book that'll have that information in it. I just wanted to get that last part. And one thing Bob was saying, like my everyday bag is this Dr. Pepper bag. This is my everyday bag. So a lot of stuff I'm gonna always have on me. You know what I'm saying? Tools, multiple tools, firearms, all that's gonna be in here. I'm gonna have 2 knives on each side and all that stuff. My flashlights are gonna be in here. My compass is in here. I keep that every day. I know you can't really see it. It's not the point.
For your everyday carry too. Yes. So have
my beautiful karambit.
You can have
in here.
So I keep a knife there. There are other knives on me.
Yeah, keep all my food. Like Baba said, multiple flashlights.
I keep different things on me.
Extra batteries.
So all that's part of your survival. Have tools on you. Everything in threes at least. So 3 water sources. When we talk about that, you can have a canteen. You can have a collapsible bag.
There you go. Collapsible bag is in here also.
You got they have water packets.
And this is not metal, so it don't make a lot of noise. It's metal, but it's covered with rubber.
And when we talk about that too, so all the things on your bag, if you have a lot of zippers,
they're making noise, right?
You want to maybe put some tape around them to quiet them down as you move. You don't want to have a cling, cling. My keys that you saw, I have them wrapped with the 550 cord to keep them from jangling,
bars in every
all of that. Okay, so make sure now with your everyday carry, that's what you're carrying with you every day. You're walking with it
2 or 3 days.
So you can have you nice with everyday carries every day, right?
No,
you can have you that your bag should be your go bag should be 2 or 3 days.
Okay. I was having my everyday bag. If I just got caught with that, it should be last me a day.
Well, you don't need 2 if it's your everyday bag.
It's just to get to
right. It's just get home or whatever. You may want to have some water enough for
some people overpack. I'm one of the people that pack too much.
Yeah, just be careful of that because if you move, you got to move. You want to move light, especially if you're not used to walking a lot and stuff like that. Also, after you've been walking for a while, walk with your bag because you got to get used to that. You can't just say, "Well, when it happens, I'm gonna throw it on."
That's why I started running, man, and jogging. My whole thing is, what if I had to run and then fight? Like everybody think about fighting. Like the guy that you was with that was freezing. He might be the coldest shot in the world, but the elements, if you can't handle the elements, then you.
That's why we always do tests in the elements.
That's why I'm so thankful for the craziness that we don't recognize sometimes. We do tests, we pouring cold water on our neck and stuff like that. The moment he's doing it, I'm not happy. I'm not mad at him though, because I know what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not happy about it. But later, I'm just like, man, I'm glad I go. Now I put cold water on my neck myself. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how you train, though.
Sure,
you know,
when that electric bill ain't paid, that heat bill, you better be prepared. Get you
I'm training. That's what I said.
I apologize. I didn't bring my bag, family. But really, the only thing I could add is I always keep teas with me. I always keep herbs with me. I always keep I guess I could bring my purse, but I have like actually, you know what? I will go get my purse. I'm just, you know what? No, that's
now,
okay.
I was on that.
Yeah,
We had USPI camp, our first one. Chimpanzee out there, he can attest to this. And one of the people in the camp actually got sick.
exactly.
I said, you know, you got herbs with you? I said, uh-oh. Ever since then, he's had herbs with him.
Mm-hmm. It would be the worst thing if everything falls down and suddenly you get sick and you're sick for, you know, maybe 3 or 4 days or something. If you can feel things coming on, or if you just make a habit of ingesting certain herbs, then you don't have to worry about, you know, suddenly getting sick.
The same thing Bob was saying about training. So when it happened, you ain't. I want to thank Dexter too, real quick, and thank myself and Baba, because if it wasn't for having some first aid stuff in my everyday bag. You remember when Bamie was in class? She had an accident one time, and I had to wrap her leg up real quick. You know, I wouldn't have had the, you know, she was fine, but you know, I wouldn't have had the stuff right then, you know, to do it, you know. So just having those things handy, you know, they make a big difference. So the question right here is, should you have an everyday bag for the car and home as well? Okay, now that's so not a everyday. So your everyday carry uses very light. Yeah. Now, should you have a go bag for your car and home as well? You could take your go bag when you're going to work or wherever you're going. You can put it in your car. Yeah, that's what I thought. But you have 2 full go bags. If you got the money like that, because you got to buy your supplies, you know, then that's cool. I have a get home bag, which is more than my everyday carry. You know, it has pry tool and stuff like that in it, because it may be a disaster in the building. Stuff can fell down. I got to get out the building or get into other rooms, or, you know, break through walls. So pry tool and things like that are in that I wouldn't just have everyday carry walking around with me, right? So you could have that. In my go bag, just so you know, I have like 3 sources of heat, 3 sources of light, 3 sources of water, 3 sources of food. That's your basics. I have change of clothes. I have a machete, a knife. Not a shotgun is what we call it. It's a firearm, but it shoots shotgun shells, but it's only 18 inches long. Just so you know. I have one that I train them, let them use, a 20 gauge, and I have a 12 gauge that, you know, in case, you know, I have to defend myself. I'm an older guy, in case I get. And they're very short, and they go in my bag. Now I wouldn't carry that in my get home bag, because if I work for myself, but if I'm just at the dentist or at my acupuncturist and I got that bag, she'd be like, oh, what you have? What is it? Look like shotgun sticking out. I'm like, that's not a shotgun, that's a toy. You know. But there's no way I'm going to carry that there. Okay. But that's not to say I don't have tools and tools that can actually shoot too, that I don't have that in my everyday carry bag, but they're much smaller. Okay. It's going to be much more concealable. That's not to say I don't have a firearm on me right now in this everyday carry. Gregory Jones, do you need a quality karambit with a question mark? No, he said, I need a quality karambit. That's a question mark. A question mark. If you ask, if you're saying you need a quality karambit, where to get one from? You can get a quality karambit from gun shows. Mm-hmm. That'll be my suggestion, because they're cheap if you want quality karambit. You want to be my student Akinbola, I picked up a karambit for $250, titanium one. But that's committed. There's a lot of, you know, and have bread. I mean, this is
also his lifestyle and what he does. And he's a master instructor. But I was given a karambit as a gift.
Looks something like this, the one he was given.
Right. So,
you
know, and don't tell me how much it is. I want to know how much my gift was. But
it's going to cost you.
Right, that's going to cost you too. That's Damascus steel.
You see that pretty design.
So if you want a quality one, be prepared to pay for it. Be prepared to pay, $80 to $300 for it. But go to a gun show, you can get them cheaper. You can get So that $250 karambit that I can Bobla got, that's normally about $500. Okay,
yeah.
So
this will be got it from a gun show.
You got it from a gun show. We were at the gun show together.
Like $30 to $40 cheaper at a gun show if you could get chest with at a gun show. So
go to a gun show.
You don't have to worry about names. Worry about the quality of the steel and how it look. You know how it's built and made and everything. There are some name brands.
There's some, but we're not gonna push name brands on here.
We to sponsorship.
They got enough money to market themselves.
There you go.
But you can look on Amazon, price stuff, and then go to the gun show and find it. You're gonna find it cheap.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
And always don't say, well, I'll look for the most expensive knife because that's gonna be the best. Not always. Yeah. There's some mugs making knives and I know are garbage. And they charging $200-$300.
Hey,
there's some.
Listen.
I was gonna say there's some videos on YouTube where people test some of the knives and some of the products out. It's good to check some of that out too.
This is a very expensive karambit. This one costs $10 at the gun show.
Right.
Just a solid piece of metal. It's gonna do something. It's gonna
still gonna open you up.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to get a firearm, and I would suggest number one. So we talk about threes. That includes firearms. I would suggest, once again, it goes to what you can afford, though. So build up to this. I would suggest having a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. Okay, rifle, shotgun, pistol. What kind of rifle? The kind you want. So, if you say, okay, I'm new to this, or I want for my children, so I have 22 rifles. I like the 22. Most people, they don't feel it hits hard enough. It'll kill you if you know where to shoot. But if you're not an expert or a child, like 22, my children, that's what I trained them on. And that's why they're comfortable with firearms, right? They can use that. So we went to the range. Me was just on them. My 12-year-old at the time, we went with that. She was 10 or 9 or something. Just popping with it.
She's 13.
Yeah, she's 13 now. Wow, damn! Thank you for the correction. That's right. She just had a birthday.
Yeah.
She just had a birthday. Shoot, my son and one of my daughters, they got birthday on the same day on the 25th on Thanksgiving. My thanks on that day. The only things I have is that my children were born on the 25th.
That's weird.
Which don't always come on a Thursday. But so he's 19, she turned 28. A lot of stuff was going on, but yeah, Jamie turned 13 on the 17th. She started with the 22. Mm. And all of them started with the 22. They're comfortable. She shot the 9 and all of that, and she loves that 22.
I went with the 9.
So she can carry that.
I went with the 9 the 9mm rifle because I couldn't afford the what y'all have.
AR-15.
I couldn't afford an AR, so I got the 9 because I also have a 9mm.
Right.
So I can share ammo with that, and other people got 9mm in the click. So I can share ammo between my rifle,
and they can share it with you.
Exactly.
And so with the 45, not too many people are shooting a 45 pistol because of the expense of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the 45 pistol, I have the 45 rifle, right? And so I can share between myself with that.
45 rifle, the 9 rifle,
the 9 rifle, yes. AR-15, 22 rifles. So that's what different family members carry different things, right? Mm-hmm. I introduced the not a shotgun, so the sisters would have a shotgun they could shoot and be comfortable. And not just shit, brothers too. It's concealable, and I love it more than my other shotguns. So have yourself, but that's not really a shotgun. We say not a shotgun because it shoots shotgun shells, like I said, but full size shotgun shells. But it's a firearm. It's a firearm, but unlike other firearms, you don't have to get registered. Paperwork doesn't have to be done when it's going to the FBI because just like a shotgun, you just buy it off the rack.
It costs though.
It's key. It's key. Yeah, but it costs like the 20 gauge I bought was $350, and the 12 gauge I bought was like $500. They're not that expensive.
Because
like about same as a pistol.
They went up a lot more during the COVID, so they probably went down now. Because at COVID time they were six and eight
if you find them.
Yeah, if you found them.
Now, rifles, like I said, you can get you can get pistol caliber rifles like the 9, the 45, right. 22. With 22 rifle shoots 22 long rifle rounds. They have pistols that will do that now too, but they also have pistols that just shoot a 22 round for the pistols. Not the same, close, but not the same. So you can get So you get the judge or the defender. Those are revolvers that shoot 410 bore shotgun, or they shoot 38 and 357
it's like
rounds.
Two of them, something like that. One of them is different. The defender is different than the judge, I think.
Yeah, one shoots more, but they both shoot 410 bore shotgun rounds.
They definitely both shoot.
Okay. And that's a good tool to have if you are strong enough and shoot revolvers. Now, I love revolvers more than pistols, but
that's what I was raised on.
I shoot a lot too, but people will say, if you can't kill a person with 6 shots, 8 shots, 12 not going to do you much good because you just can't shoot, right?
So country boys grew up.
But the thing about that is it's quicker to reload a pistol, which is semi-automatic tool, than to load. You got quick loaders, but you got to carry a lot of them for a revolver. But I love revolvers.
Then
now,
you go back to the saying again. What you reloading for? If you only you should have.
Hopefully you don't get in a protracted shootout, but it can happen. Now, so you have those pistols, shotguns. If you can carry, and when I said a shotgun to train sisters on, I don't believe in a woman's gun. But when people are just training, there's a reality. A 12 gauge shot, a lot of like yourself, Ogunlewa, small women, you shooting a 12 gauge shotgun full size could be problematic. Okay, so get your 20 gauge. You can shoot. It's cool. So with a shotgun, get yourself a 20 gauge if you're smaller. If you're a larger person, man or woman, cotton diesel, get you a 12 gauge if you can. Get yourself some double aught buckshot. You can get or down to 3 buckshot. You try something like people get number 6. Somebody gave me number 6 bird shot as a gift. I didn't say nothing, but number 6 bird shot is very, it'll hurt now, but you're not.
If you absolutely have nothing else.
Right, nothing else, but you may not kill nobody with that bird shot. But that buckshot, that's what you want to use. Okay. Other things you can get yourself a slingshot. Hey, baby. You can get yourself a slingshot.
I have one.
You can get, he has one. I have one. I have steel ball bearings to shoot with it. So you can get yourself steel ball bearing, or you can just grab them rocks outside, broken glass.
Just gonna do something.
And shoot that. Okay.
You mentioned this too.
Yes. So you also want communication. Like say, damn, 3 forms of communication. You already got one right here. Right here. The other one is right here. Yeah. Hand signals, that's the other one.
Learn some of those.
You got hand signals, you got your mouth, and then you need a radio. Okay. This is a ham radio. Very, very cheap. So the Baofeng is inexpensive ham radio. Okay. They come in different sizes, different range you need it. It has this is the antenna it comes with. This antenna was put on there, so it extends the range on it.
I don't actually know whose this one is, but also you have to go to school for them. You're supposed to get licensed.
Yeah, license to learn. Now I'll say this: if you have one person that can go, they train you all, learn how to use it. Don't play on it,
Right?
because it's illegal, they say.
Right.
But everything hit the fan. Who really gives a damn? You best be able to communicate with each other.
Right. And don't just get one. Learn how to use it. Somebody's
gotta
gonna
learn how
have to
to
go to
use it.
class, because you're
yeah.
not going to pick that up and
Just
start
figure it out.
Nah, when things fall down, that is not the time to try to figure out how to use that. That is not the time.
Especially this, you'll be frustrated.
You're gonna be listening to the radio. All you be doing is listening to Hot 97.
Oh, on that too. On this. Also, get yourself a watch. Because if you're out there still, or if you watch this later, you know, whole group of them in training, in a camp. I can't do so and so at this time. Do so and so at this time. On purpose. Do so and so at this time. Nobody had a watch, because everybody used to thinking this is not a watch, y'all. It will tell the time. This is not a watch. Everybody's using the phone. They didn't have a clue what the hell time it was. So they're trying to listen to wind up radio. And what's so funny, not one station they would ever, them say at the top of the hour, they would say at the top of the hour, they would say the hour. Not one of them would say it's 8 o'clock. Nobody would say that. Right. At the top of the hour, you couldn't get the time on that either. So they were screwed on a lot of things. They got messed with. They could not get the time. Make sure you have a watch. Beautiful thing. One of my daughters, every Father's Day and every birthday, I know doggone well I'm gonna get me a watch. So I got a bunch of them, right?
Yeah, that's great.
And that's perfect, because I know I have me a watch. I don't have me a watch on my body because of the train, they get broke up.
Right.
I got them in my bag though. Right. But if you can carry them on your body, carry them. I've tried that, and they always get broken. We do too much.
Right.
Grappling and striking.
I was just gonna say one thing about the Baofeng radio is there's a lot of different price points. There's not one particular one that you have to get. Like that, the cheap one will communicate with the real expensive one with all the bells and whistles.
Right,
so I don't think there's a certain model that you have to have. Just kind of look for that particular kind. And
most people they know so little about radios, they ain't gonna clown me. Like this radio here, I know exactly what this costs, but I ain't gonna clown them. Because
right.
My radio is bigger. That'll make it better, like she just said. He can still talk to me with this radio.
That's the point. It's like
and about the same distance.
It ain't too much different.
The only reason why I got that one, to be honest, because I didn't know about that one. To be honest, so yes, that's a good thing about ham radios. You can get an inexpensive one; they still be good. Now they got some that's completely jacked.
Right.
You ain't getting no signal, and don't get those. If you see a radio like this and it's got 2 buttons, don't get that bad boy. You can't go to none of the frequencies, none of that. You just waste your money.
Yeah.
That's a walkie-talkie. That's not a.
Yeah, you can YouTube too. They'll tell you.
But people come to me and say, "Should I use? I got these walkie-talkies. Should I use them?" Hell yeah, use them.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
And if it's short range, if you got a little camp and you over by the water and your wife is by the fire, whatever,
I have this ham radio, and I also have 2-ways because they can come in handy different type of ways. Right. You want to be able to pick up different things. So yeah, 2 ways can be for a personal thing you're doing. keeping watch, you know, somebody, you know, that kind of stuff.
As far as your food, you got a few minutes. So, as far as your food, like get the power bars, get you light food. I don't eat them, but you know, you can get you ramen noodles. One of my students, they got children. One of their backpacks, because they're little children, you know, they let them participate. All they're doing is carrying the ramen noodles.
Yeah,
they got a backpack full of ramen noodles. Yeah, right, exactly. Great. So you know, but that's food for the family. If that's all you can, remember you're trying to survive. Then later you can thrive. I am not gonna eat that. But if that's all you got. So another thing, or that's all you can afford. If you got a little bit more money, you can get yourself some MREs, meals ready to eat. You can order them online, and next week we'll put a thing in where you can order. I just hate giving this capitalist system giving the information and stuff, but look it up. Meals ready to eat, or MREs. You can get you some MREs.
I'll show them one real quick.
Yeah. And so MRE, you get you some like stroganoff or something. You pour some hot water in there.
Plain looking bag, don't look like much. But this is where I have. This is what it.
That's an MRE, meal ready. What's this one? Oh, beef stew.
Of course, that's not for me unless it's been a minute and I absolutely have to.
And you pour the water in that, you eat it, but it has other things in there too. So you open the pack, you take out the stuff. Like this one has, let me see, does it say what else is in there?
Oh,
no. So somewhere they may have like crackers in it with it.
Oh, okay. So
they do have.
It may have a bar of chocolate.
Now they do have vegan meals. This is a heating meal, so all you got to do is put this in a bag and you squeeze it. You know what I'm saying? And you can use it like that. You can heat it up if you want to. You can pour water to it, but it's just really simple to do.
Now, so they do have on that, to heat up your food or your water, you can get yourself a portable, and I have it, several of the students have it, a portable stove. When it folds up, it's about the size of like a pack of cards.
This is my closet too.
And then you unfold it. It has little legs. It sits up. You put these little tablets in it. Set it on fire. Oh, no, you put your water on top. It boils it.
I know what you're talking about. They used one at the thing one time. Didn't they use one at the camp? The camp.
Yeah, they used somebody's at the camp, and they made me coffee to negotiate with me on some things, right? Because at the time I was a big coffee fanatic. Oh, by the way, I don't drink coffee no more, just so y'all know. I just drink tea. I drink matcha. Yes, I stopped drinking coffee. There you go.
Holy
wow, Bubba, that is huge.
I know you're gonna go through it. Anytime you get mad now because you went through coffee.
Because and the reason why I stopped is because I was so addicted to coffee. I said, damn it.
That's why I stopped smoking.
I'm looking at what's going on out here. I can't be addicted to nothing. Okay. And so I cut it loose. And I've been off coffee now 2-3 months.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't been urging for it. I will say 2 days ago it got bad because I walked in, I'm looking at I buy expensive. I'm a coffee snob. And I'm looking at all my expenses. I said, damn, I spent all this money on these coffees. They shouldn't go to waste. I said, no, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna tuck myself into drinking this job. Nothing wrong with it, but it was an addiction, you know. But once again, going without nothing else, but somebody got some coffee there, I drink the hell out of that coffee.
Me too. I ain't ate no pork since I ate pork since I was 15.
I hope you stay away if it's the right situation.
Right. I mean, I haven't eaten pork in over 30 years, right? But to survive, I mean, I'm not religious about that. I have taboos that I would like to say I wouldn't break. But if you're about to starve to death, you just to make a lie out you.
Yeah, my taboo is potatoes. I don't think I'm going. Before I go out, I'm gonna eat me some French fries.
Well, one of my taboos. I won't give a lot of them, but one of my taboos, which is funny, is snake. So most
that's the
most
one.
people say, "Why don't I eat about?" I actually like snake.
And it's a common thing if you out there doing rural survival. That's a
Yes.
common meat you're gonna run
But
into.
you know, if there's snakes, the one thing about it that if you're going to maintain that, it's also rats. Snakes love to eat rats.
So if you're eating snakes,
if you're seeing snakes, you're going to see rats.
Right.
I eat a rat and a half, just so you know. Before I've eaten a rat, not because I had to. Me, the one thing about that other student I told you about the tissue. One thing about him is he hardcore now. So we're sitting there and having a discussion about, man, I never tasted a rat before. I said, I've tasted many things when I was in the military because I had to for survival. But I've never tasted a rat. He said, me either. I said, well, let's do it. He said, cool. There's no hesitation with him when you talking about people about it. He's about it when it comes to defending himself, family, or putting in that work if it has to be put in. Right. He just be putting in the work, hitting the mud with the AK because he ain't got no bullet. so we were doing. I'm an African traditionalist, so we were doing a sacrifice of rats for somebody else. We had to roast them and everything. Then we both. And my wife too. Oh, she about it too now. That's why we together, right? So we said, let's do it. We ate them bad boys. Now, in that same African tradition, it says, it is bit by bit we eat the head of the rat. People say, yeah, because it's so disgusting. That's why. No, because the Yoruba, they eat rats as a delicacy. Dry rat. It's a delicacy. So, nope, it ain't because it's disgusting. It's because the small bones in his head can choke you to death unless you're very careful. So, I tasted a rat. Okay, so no, it don't taste like chicken. It tastes terrible, just so you know. But I would do it again. I eat a whole one. Yeah, all you gotta do is season. Your black folks expert at that. I would eat a whole rat with no hesitation.
The last thing I eat is a white person.
And I've eaten dog. If I ate a white person, I wouldn't say on here because I asked him to explain to do. But I eat a white person before I eat a black person because a black you got to kill a black folks, man. You got to kill them. Now, when I eat folks, period, that would be last on my list.
That's what I do said on my page a minute ago. He said we need to eat all the 1%. I said, do we have to?
Right. We got to eat. We got to eat them. White. We got to eat the white
yes. He responded back.
Well,
yes.
He crazy as hell.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a loon. Now, I've eaten dog. Okay. If you're grimacing, believe me, before you starve to death, you'll eat these things.
You probably have.
Some people just eat it. Probably. Some people just eat that stuff with it. It's the part of their culture.
Right.
It ain't part of mine, but it's part of many African cultures. They eat dog. I would.
When you from, it depends. I mean, I guess you being in the special forces, and for me, being from the country, seeing stuff get shot, skinned, and eating it don't really matter. Like, what's the difference from shooting, skinning, and eating the pig from the cow, from the dog, from the cat, from the rat, it doesn't really matter once you see them all gutted.
And growing up with my father, would always bringing home bear meat.
Right, I go eating coons,
raccoon, squirrel,
all that, man.
Possum.
Yeah, they ate that. They eat
rabbit.
That. Yeah.
So all that stuff I've eaten before. So when it came to a dog, it really didn't matter because you take that skin off. What's the difference between that and a rabbit?
Honestly, it really ain't. Once you see it all skin hanging,
when it's gross is when you think about it. Don't put no thought into that now.
Right.
I am eating a so-and-so.
No, you're thinking of a fluffy rabbit. You're thinking of your dog.
Right,
that you love.
Cute. Yeah. Now it was funny when we got our dog. My daughter asked me. She said, "Now we're not gonna sacrifice Kai anytime our rest." Why we have to? Hell no, we ain't said that. Pet's a family. You take a pet, it's a family member.
Right.
That's what. If I took a chicken as a pet, I don't eat chicken. But if we took a chicken, only for a reason, but if we took a chicken as a pet, there's no way I would kill that chicken, or even slaughter for spiritual reasons. Why? That's a family member. If you're doing that, I wouldn't take a chicken as a pet. I'm just saying if you did. So you take a dog as a pet, you took it into your family. That's more than just old dog.
Yeah, you better be careful with that too, because when survival time comes.
Well, survival. Well, I look at. That's why we look at her as a family member, because survival time come. I ain't eating my daughter,
Right.
And I ain't eating Kai.
Well, you know what I mean? I'm looking at, you got to be able to afford to keep that animal too. You
got to be, yes. Now I'll say this: all of us together, and Kai's there, and y'all looking at your lips, looking at Kai. I'm like, no, sir, no. That's like a family member. Right?
You gonna wake up in the morning?
I'm like, everything grilling. Now, if everybody's starving and Kai gets eaten, I mean, I'd rather you eat Kai than we do eat one of the children, because people can get pushed to that. Mm-hmm. People can get. This is why you also another reason why have your supplies, because once again, starvation make a lie at you. Out you. You don't want to be looking at your children. You're like,
right.
It's so easy to see how starvation. I don't know if y'all ever been hungry, but like you go without a day or so without eating, you start bending rules, your own health rules, real fast. You start bending all your.
Imagine going 30 days without eating.
I can't. I've been 5 days.
And you can't go 3 days without water. People, I watched this special. This dude who survives. He's known. His first name is named after one of the big old vicious animals in the forest. Mm-hmm. He always talking about drinking your urine. Urine is toxic. It ain't just like I'm drinking Kool-Aid, which is toxic too, but at least it tastes better. Mm-hmm. Urine is coming out your body because it's supposed to. If you had to survive, you could drink urine, but you can't just keep doing that. Talking about drink urine over and over. You're still getting very little water.
Very little. You're getting a lot of waste.
You're getting a lot of waste, and you're going to end up dying from that. So don't be, I just drink my pee. Where's the water come from you to make pee? Have you some water on supply. The big thing is water is heavy. A gallon of water is 8 pounds. So you can't just say, well, I'm just going to carry, a couple gallons on my belt. Walk around. You're not. Water is heavy. So that's the big conundrum in survival. If you have to break out and you're trying to get to the forest, it's going to take you probably some days. How are you going to carry your water? Okay. So that's very key. That's one of the big key things about this. I'm bugging out to the forest. Okay. Yeah. Well, how you drinking?
Right. Because
you're moving, so you're worried. You're burning water anyway. So now you got to replenish. Well, what you, and you better not be. It better not be the summer. So bugging out is a last resort, to be honest. Also, part of your survival, not just your bag. So have a cache. You heard me say my mother has a cache. That is your survival equipment, tools, and everything inside. If you have a pantry, that bad boy should be filled with. Now that's when you have your canned goods. You can go. Canned goods are inexpensive, and you can get a bunch of them. Okay, get a bunch of canned goods. Get yourself a couple of 5-gallon containers. Put water in it. Get yourself survival straws for your bags too, because with a survival straw you can put it in a dirty pool of water and drink it. It ain't gonna taste good, but it's not gonna have those bacteria and things. It filters that out. So several survival straws, but have your water at home. Get yourself some bleach. Put your 3 drops of bleach for every gallon that you have. You don't want to have a lot of bleach in there. You're not gonna be able to drink that if you do that. But just enough to keep that clean, because you ain't gonna be able to keep just moving it. So you have, if you got 2 5-gallon containers. If you can't get those containers, which they're plastic, they're not expensive at all. Get yourself a bunch of 2-liter bottles. hopefully you can get them empty already. If not, you got to really clean them if there was soda in them or something at first. And then put water in those. Put those to the side. Now you go into your tub and get you some other ones, put them somewhere else. And that's water you got to wash your body with. You cannot be in a shit hits the fan situation and you don't clean your body. It's going to mess with your mental faculties, okay? So you have to have water that you drink, water that you wash with. Also, if you have pets, that's going to cost because you got to get them water too. So I always monitor how much water do the pets have, and they drink different water from us. At one point, I'm looking, I said, damn, all the alkaline water is gone. I said, Yemi, what are you giving Kai to drink? Alkaline water, hell no. That's for us. I love Kai too, but no, we ain't giving her the alkaline water. I'm sorry, we ain't millionaires. We're going to give her this bottle of water, so we got stacks of bottled water for her and for the pigeons. You say, damn, y'all got all kinds of pets. We got the dog and we got pigeons. The dog ain't a cute, it's a German Shepherd. It ain't for cuteness. It's cute, but it ain't for cuteness. It's putting in work. And she's trained now. And I looked at her the other day like, oh my God. First, her face thin, that's that puppy face. Her face is like this now. She got the German Shepherd dog face. Now, she's ready to put in work on Mugs. Now when she barks, right? So that is what a dog is for, is to put in work for survival. Okay? Because they got to be trained on that part too. They got to be trained not to be barking all the time. That's one thing we have to work with her on, because sometimes you got to be silent. And she's barking, you know.
That's why it's important to have well-disciplined children.
That too. But okay, if you had a baby, it can't be disciplined.
Well, yeah, then you
that's right. You have to train yourself.
Right.
Do this. That go. You have to be trained for everything you have too. All these tools ain't just what you have. You also got children. You got a spouse.
Right.
The hardest is a baby. So when they were at USPA camp with me, right? There was a certain scenario, and they all decided to hide. My son said, we should all run. Nobody listened to him. So they decided to hide.
He wasn't the only one that said that.
Huh?
He wasn't the only one.
Oh, really?
No, he wasn't the only one that said that.
Really? Oh, who else said it? Bambi? Another child?
No, it was a couple of us. It was
really?
Yeah, it was a couple.
They argued for I timed it. 18 minutes, 24 seconds, whether they should go or stay.
Yeah, we argued.
So, and the people said stay one.
Right.
Now,
I'm still mad about that.
Raining outside.
So that they wanted to have comfort.
Exactly.
And they died because of it. Now, they died, in the scenario because of it. So they're hiding. I tell you, they're hiding from the military. The military hits the house. And they were doing okay hiding. And then one of the sisters had a baby with her. A real baby,
Yeah.
And the baby, so I knew it. I said, baby girl. Because I'm doing the scenario of the military and I'm putting stuff on them. And the baby starts crying. I said, I knew it was coming. I got him. So I said, all right, let's pack it up, guys. Like that. I did it loud to shock her. I said, hey, this don't work. Then they beat me on this scenario. I said, let's pack it up. Let's go. And when I did that, I said, wait a minute. It's a baby down there. They are down there. And then we hit. They got people hidden behind the door. I'm just taking Mugs out, right? And I'm coming down the stairs. They got so panicked, one dude threw a towel at me. I said, yeah, somebody throwing a towel. They must be telling me I need to clean my boots. Boom, got him. Keep coming down the stairs. Boom, I got all of them. They're finished. They're finished. I'm one dude doing it, but I represented 200 soldiers. Bad day.
One solution, if you were in that type of situation, one advantage to nursing your children is that
Yes.
you could try to nurse the baby during that time to keep them settled.
Now, one dude called me, and don't do this, because I had a conversation with him because he had smaller children. He talked to me and said, "Well, I just tape my children's mouth up." I said, "Dude, what? Don't do that. Now you have mentally traumatized a child, and you're in a disaster situation. You have really screwed up, and that child's it's going to be bad enough for him in this disaster situation. You're trying to make sure your mental health is right and your children's mental health is right. They're our future. No, do not tape up the baby's mouths. This is why you train other things. And yes, breastfeeding is the greatest solution to that. Breastfeed. Even if that mother no longer breastfeeds, another woman who does during that time, it's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
You breastfeed. And shit, you go to Africa, your baby crying, it's not a situation like that. A breastfeeding mother pick up the baby, she'll breastfeed your child. She'll breastfeed your child. You like, ugh, ugh. The only reason we say because we've sexualized the breast. So,
If I say
and also just
now if she like, I'll breastfeed your child.
that's what I thinking about.
I only got a taste of HPV. They say no. Then you might want to pull out the tape because hell no, right? But if you breastfeeding is the greatest solution for that. I said the greatest solution. I didn't say it's always a solution, but it is the greatest solution for that. Okay. Silence sometimes is a must. Train yourself. It's very strange. My father always said, this boy's born for this stuff. Because I'd be 8 years old. I would sit in the bathroom, turn off the light. I'd tell him, I'm going to the bathroom, mama. I ain't got to use the bathroom. I'll turn off the light and sit there silent for 2 hours in darkness, just training myself to be able to do it. I was extreme, even from a young child. Training in the martial arts led me to thinking of other things, and probably hearing my father, I don't know, but I internalized a lot of that stuff, and so I said, shoot, I'm going to train myself. And I would just be in the darkness, train 2 hours, leg numb from sitting on the toilet and stuff. As I got older, I learned, move around, right. Very silent stuff. That kind of stuff I would do. Train yourself. As an adult, you can do that now. You can train yourself. You can write, not talk. Or if we sitting here and we watching a TV show, train yourself. Don't say nothing. For the 2 hours you're watching the show, train yourself. Me and my wife could sit in the room. I'm reading, she reading. We just sit across from each other. 3 hours pass. We ain't said nothing. And I'm known as a talker. Okay. Some days she'll come in from work and I'm practicing it. Not from work or shop. She'll come in, say, hey, give her a hug. She's sitting there. I turn on, as soon as she come out, I turn on the show we like to watch together or something. I don't say nothing. Now, if those days she'll say, you all right? I say, yeah, you ain't saying nothing. I'm working on my thing. She said, all right. Then she know. If I say, yeah, she know something wrong there because I'm a talker. So usually I pause, even the show, something hit there, I pause, say, now that's something, we have a discussion about it. But some days I'm training that. Let me not speak here like this. Let me not say nothing. Now, if she just walked in and said, hey, baby, now that's weird. I wouldn't do that. But I try to work like that, I tell my daughter, let's just be silent for a couple of hours. It's easy for her now, So I would do that. My son, it was almost impossible with him because he was full of questions and always, but so him, it was hard. But I got him to the point where he could handle himself. Y'all went camp with him, so he can be quiet, and he thinks strategically. So that's why he was like, hey, let's, we got to get up out of here. And he knows me. If we don't leave, Daddy gonna put it on us. And put it on y'all. He knows. Because that's all part of the training. I've been training them all day long.
Like 3 of us, me or Dave, or somebody else.
We said go.
Yeah, they said we were supposed to run. It was like 3 of us, 3 or 4.
Everybody else, they looking at the rain and said,
yeah,
it's too much.
I can understand the women that want.
And I still took y'all out of the rain.
Right. Either way, we still got wet.
I got them ugly. I said, okay, y'all go ahead and wash up and get yourself. So the house we were at, the family of the house we were at, they go upstairs. They come down so clean because they using their showers and they come down clean as a whistle. I said, now let's go outside and let's run these drills with these tools.
Mud.
With these rifles and pistols. Let's run these drills. People trying not to kneel down.
I was trying not to kneel down. I was trying not to kneel all the way down.
I said, go ahead and kneel down, because once you kneel, it doesn't matter no more then. Once you wet, it doesn't matter no more. You can't get no wetter. Go ahead. Get used to it. Embrace it, right? Because you can't get no wetter. Your knees ain't gonna get no dirtier. Go ahead and kneel in that mud. It's not gonna get no dirtier, and that mud's not gonna kill you. But not kneeling down can kill you.
Right.
And your head just up here like this, and you're getting shot. We running drills where so-and-so, you run empty, right? So he's standing there shooting. The other person kneels down to reload. You can't be standing up and trying to reload or looking at your tool trying to reload. All that stuff has to be trained. Or you can't say, well, I got that. When everything break down, I got it. No, you don't. Once again, be realistic. It always come back down to training. No matter how many tools you got, you could be a billionaire. Kanye West could be like, I'm on the line and I got all my survival supplies. He got all these survival supplies, but never trained with one. He's just as lost as the person that bought 50 rolls of tissue. Because it comes back down to you have to train. This is why we do this show. This is why we talked on here. I really want to use this more as an opening, and then we bring in because I want to from one episode. It has to be several episodes because it's so intrinsic,
right?
But it's so simple,
right?
One episode where we deal with even our gear, our drip, our survival drip. Something like call it drip, right? What you're wearing has to make sense. Okay, has to make sense. I've had people come to my class to train, sisters come to train, and I'm like, did they really come to train? And a wrap skirt and blouse. I'm like, you playing. Now they playing. If you came like that, I say you're trying out what you like to wear. Does it work with you? Now we can work on that. With a person their first time coming in that, like you playing. Sister came one time. She had on a dress. It was a nice dress. I told her, that's a nice dress. And you ain't ready to do nothing. Right. You ain't ready to do nothing. I said, and it makes it hard because I say, okay, we're about to work on you get thrown to the ground. How you defend yourself, somebody between your legs. You really want to work on that with that dress on? Oh, no, I didn't know that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So, no. One time, group of sisters, I said, okay, let's work on if the person between your legs, what do you do? And my wife said, baby, you made all of them uncomfortable. I said, good, I did good. I did my job. Right. I said, but they were working. They were still working because it's discomfort that if you can work under that, you can work under most conditions, right? Most conditions
happens to you in real life, it's going to be extremely uncomfortable.
Exactly. Right. So work where you're uncomfortable at, but don't come to me with a dress on. Or dude came to class, He had, this is no exaggeration that people could tell you, he had a tie on as a headband. He had a ruffled shirt. And you know this dude. He had a ruffled shirt, slacks, stacked shoes, and his knife. He had a simulated knife, training knife. His training knife was a paintbrush. I said, okay, he acting a fool. And I was cool. I could rock with you. You act a fool. I can clown you and joke on you. But one of the students took, if his dad used it too far, and took his headband, his tie, used the headband, and held him down against his mouth. Now, that can happen to him really out there. I didn't tell him to do this. He did this. And they actually got into a fight. Craziest thing when you see a big, giant British dude and a crazy dude dressed like Prince fighting each other. So I had to let it go on for a while because I was just entertained. And then I stopped it when it got too serious.
Why? Why?
You snitched, though.
Why? No, so he did that. No, Akinbola did that. But he fought. The dude attacked Akinbola after that. But I said, come on, man. You did hold his face down.
That's what I'm talking about. Why?
Right. They're working on ground. He's like, they're using.
That's Capricorn.
I think he's just like, this mug coming to this class doing this. I'm like, it's okay, man. It's okay. I'm gonna clown him and hopefully he get better. Either he laugh it off with me or he don't come back.
For those of you who are never been to the African martial class, if you come dressed strange, we will not take whatever you have around your head and
put it in your mouth. We're not gonna do that to you.
That was the first.
So I corrected him on that. But if you come dressed like that in stacks and all that, I am gonna clown you. I'm gonna joke. Because that
he didn't
ain't
do
being
it
ready.
until it wasn't Baba who did it.
No, I didn't put my mouth. I didn't do that. No, he said I played too much because I'm telling it. I mean, she said I played too much because I'm telling it. No, I'm telling you what really happened. It was terrible, but I did watch them have fun. I had fun watching them. They didn't have fun. They were fighting. I watched them for a while, and then I broke them up. But even when I'm gonna get Akinbola on here to tell that story himself. And watch it. He gonna get mad all over again. Every time he tells it, it's like it happened to him just then. He gets mad. I don't know why. He was just so mad at that dude. The only way he could have been madder if the dude had been British. Because he has a big thing. If British people are acting a fool, British black folk, black Brits, he gets peed off, embarrassed, because he's like, bruv, you didn't embarrass us, bruv. You may look bad, bruv. I was like, brother, everybody is human beings. So, because one of his brothers, I know he watches the show too, Akinbola watches. One of his brothers came to one of our tests, dressed in pristine white. It's raining and muddy. He got on pristine white, and he says, after I finished giving my spiel about why we train in the elements, he says, I have soup in the car if anybody wants some soup. I said, this dude really know where he's at?
Today's class.
And so we're about to conclude now, but yes. So y'all can imagine how clown he got and how upset Akinbola got. Love y'all.
Next week.
Just having fun with you. Next week.
We may keep this going or we may bring this back when we have more time. Organize it a little bit. Because we want to just give you an introduction. We were just going to talk about the go bags, but it's so hard because everything.
Because so much is connected. It's
not the African way to be so detached.
And the easiest way, really, to keep that in one thing is to actually work with you and teach one thing. So if you were here with us, we could do it, but it's still going to go back to other things, right? But like I said, just know rule of threes.
Right.
3 light source, 3 heat source, 3 sources of water, 3 sources of food as a basic.
Right.
And if you do that, you're okay. And then we can go more than that. Make sure your bag doesn't look like a tactical bag. Make sure you're not wearing boonie hat and combat boots and all that kind of stuff out there trying to make a show of your survival, because people are going to take your stuff. They're going to come for it.
Yes.
And yes,
training to be able to defend. What's the point in buying all this stuff, being prepared if you
not
can't
knowing how to use it?
Yeah.
Or defend it, right? Because people, even then, people see a bag when it gets really bad. They're like, I want whatever is in there, even no matter how that bag looks.
Exactly.
So be prepared to defend yourself. Be prepared to, and part of defending yourself, I mean, you do what has to be done to survive. So when I was talking about eating the rats and the dogs and stuff, not just talking, that's telling you have to be prepared to do what you have to do to survive. That's not talking about just whooping a person's ass or taking their life. If we're talking about warriors, it's bigger than just that. Okay, bigger than martial art technique. When we did with the cards last week, that's because it's talking about what you have to do even in your free time is train your strategy. You can have fun doing it. Okay. Train your mind, train your mind, your children, especially. You're learning how to. So games are very important for warriors. If you look at any culture, the warriors always have games that warriors play, right. And they not always dealing with athletics. Mind. That's why chess is so popular around the world with warriors, with business people and things of that nature. Okay, because they're dealing with warfare too. All right, so thank y'all. Love y'all.
Spread the word for us.
Spread the word. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that, mash that, as people say, mash that like button. Mm-hmm. Love y'all and stay black.
Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
See you next week.
All right, next week, yeah. Wakanda forever. And actually, we've been doing that way before there was some damn Wakanda, just so you know. All right, love y'all.
My Saturday work. Wow, thank you very much, Sherlyn Cloud.